Hello, everybody. Welcome to session 2. I should hold up 2 fingers instead of 1. Session 2 of Myths of Mistral. Nice to see everybody. I'm joined once again by KZ Fru, Simcopter 1, Animatedbreak, and Danotage.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
I miss you guys.
What's up? Good
Hi,
to
chat.
see you.
I miss you, chat.
It's been so exciting to see, and I know I've been talking with the other 4 as well, and they've all said the same thing. It's been so excited to see how much people are enjoying it and how much more people want to see. I think we've all been harassed, much to our enjoyment, over the last 2 weeks about people wanting more. So we're so excited to do it, too. I'm very excited to be here. I've been looking forward to this for like 2 weeks.
I told people 2 weeks, and they're like, "What? 2 entire weeks?
Yeah.
Come on. What are you going to deprive me of all this good content?"
So welcome back, everybody. If you didn't have an
Dragonborn.
opportunity to see the first session, not to worry, we'll do a little bit of a recap. We'll introduce you to the characters as well as we get going off. But when we left last time, the players had just received an invitation to a tournament in the Kingdom State of Rosedale. Anam and Felix, a human monk and gnome warlock, met each other in a caravan on the way to the tournament, only to be interrupted by a horse who turned out to be a polymorphed wizard by the name of Finithir Shinebray. He implored them for help, and Sharvanda, a human rogue wandering by, saw a gnome talking to a horse, was interested in it, stopped by to say hello, and then a half-orc by the name of Guz appeared and challenged them for the horse. And in the battle that ensued, a dragonborn paladin by the name of Deli appeared and helped out the team. All 4 having come victorious with the aid of many flying fairy dragons that might be around. Is that what that was? Was that a fairy dragon?
Yeah, it was.
It's very cute.
I had to look at the stream to see who I can point at. I'm going to point up to Sim over
Yeah,
to...
we have to do the Brady Bunch thing as we go around.
Because, well, in the call, it doesn't look like that, so I had to go look over to
Right.
the
You had to like look over it, yeah.
The party rising victorious, having slain the orc and his animal companions, Sharvanda celebrated with the haunch of one of the cooked dogs, much to the rest of the party's dismay, who opted instead to go to a kindly old woman's tavern where
Pancake House.
brutish, unforgiving players stole from the kindly woman, messed up the tavern, threatened the lovely bard, and then left.
Wait, what did we steal?
Your gnome friend pocketed some alcohol.
Ah, right, I remember that now. Okay.
Speaking of which, did you mark that on your character sheet, Felix? Oh, I think we lost your audio. It
I was
looked
just
like a
muted.
yes, though.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought I unmuted myself.
Oh, no,
yeah,
you're
I did
fine.
mark it down.
Excellent.
I think, let's see, 2 bottles of liquor, about half full.
Yes. 2 of vodka, 1 of whiskey. You actually ended up with 3. I know 1 broke. You had 4
I think
originally.
one broke, and then Sharvanda took the other, so I have
Yes.
2 on me.
Oh, okay.
And I pounded it back.
Excellent. Yeah, it was a
one-
crazy
one
roll. I was
vodka.
rolling for what alcohol it was, and it was just like vodka, vodka, vodka. All right. The
No
players now
hangover,
have
right?
rejoined up with their polymorphed horse Shinebright, and they are heading out from the tavern now. Sharvanda, who has just sort of arisen from a little bit of a knockout situation, challenged what he thought was maybe an unassuming bard, turned out to be a druid who turned into a polar bear, smacked him, knocked him unconscious. You are coming to, feeling a little bit of queasiness in your stomach, but, you know, you're a rogue. You've been rough and tumble. You've had a concussion before. This is not an unfamiliar feeling in your stomach, to you.
He said, "Bam, bam."
Exactly.
Another one.
Anam, you are leaving the tavern still with that silver coin that you received from the bard, the one that features the image of a flying finch, which has been identified to you by Shinebright as belonging to the Druidic Order of the Finch. And thus far, you have not shared that with the other party members, so that is something that you are keeping privately to yourself. Deli, you did not see most of the debauchery that the party went into, watching the back door for an escape that never came, but then came later to support these 3 scallywags. And Felix, it has been quite a day for you as well, talking with a horse, reading magical scrolls, feeling arcane energies coming from inside of you, thievery, all sorts of new experiences to encounter. So the 4 of you are now heading out from the tavern with the still polymorphed horse Shinebright.
I believe I'm riding him, aren't I?
Yes, that's correct. I'm sorry. You are. You are, in fact, on his back. He is very unhappy about that.
I was hoping you'd forget.
I don't forget that.
Just kind of walking along with a very indignant head down. He carries you well, though. It's clear he's been ridden before. So
he's
he
a strong
knows,
horse.
He knows how to handle a rider.
Sweet.
As you're leaving, you do notice the winds. The winds of the planet are often, very unpredictable. They'll swell, they'll get heavier, they'll get softer. As you're leaving, you all kind of notice the wind that it gets harder, it gets softer, it gets harder, and then it's kind of staying hard. Then it's getting a little bit harder. Kind of feels like a windstorm might be on the horizon of picking up.
It's ramping up. Okay.
It's ramping up, yeah. Shinebright sort of looks up at the sun and says to you, and only you, Felix, and you, Anam, hear this because you're under the effects of the scroll, says, the scroll will be wearing off soon, but my house, where you can find Noke and my wand of true polymorph, you need to proceed down this road. You'll see a marker on the right side that tells you it's a mile to the main road. Go off there and go 300 yards into the wilderness. You'll see a clearing. My house is 3 different levels. You can't miss it, but you'll have to be looking for it. When you go in, remember, in order to access the house, you'll need the password, which is May Tref Cathode, the name of my homeland, my elven homeland. May Tref Cathode. Remember this. The wind seems to be picking up, but I'm sure we can have safety inside my home if we take care of Noke first.
Did you get all those instructions? I think it was 200 yards on the left, or right past the restaurant. Oh no, that's not it.
No, we just keep walking. Don't tire yourself. Don't think too hard. There's words we got to remember. There's a clearing we got to go to, and we honestly should go there before we get swept away, like our generations before us.
Go where? Where are going? Where are we? Oh.
Did you hear something, Felix?
I think someone has acquired the alcoholic beverage that I have acquired from the tavern.
Hi, hello, you talking horse person. You why talk horse to you? What's happening? Where are we going?
I think he's losing it.
We gotta just keep walking. All right, can you do that?
I can give me a hug, kiss, hug.
No, oh no, oh God.
Oh boy.
I'm kind of like flopped on top of Anam. Just he needs to just kind of Senpai needs to carry me.
Am I strong enough to do that?
I would imagine you are. What is your strength?
12?
12? I mean, a human, yeah.
10
I
is-
mean,
10 is
it's
average.
not like, you could bench press him as you're walking down or anything, but, you could support him or, fireman carry him, drag him. You would be able to move him.
All right, well, I guess that's what I got to do.
And I just look at the camera that doesn't exist, and I just say, "Well, it's a living."
Who are you talking to?
Wah, wah.
What? Nothing.
Thank you so much, good sir. You were
Yeah. Oh, God.
An elvish
working out.
laugh track plays.
I'm really worried you're going to throw up.
Oh, listen, I'm looking at him directly in the face. So just putrid, like alcohol breath is just like fanning his face. Listen, I have been drinking since you were born, I think.
Yes,
Come on,
and it
let's keep
shows.
walking.
Is he bragging or is
Perhaps
he
your
ill?
mother drank as well. Let's not worry about that.
Okay.
Thankfully, Shine Bright, very aware of where he's going, is just kind of dealing. You've realized you've lost the ability to understand him. He's just kind of now as you go down, but he still retains the ability to understand you, and seems not the most impressed he's ever been, but trudges forward nonetheless with this dragonborn on his back. And you approach the sign that he was referring to that says that the main road is a mile away. This is the area that he mentioned to go into the forest to. And he stops
Well, I
a little bit.
suppose we
and
should
sort of-
follow the horse's directions, Shine Bright's directions. Let's proceed.
About 200 yards. Past the sign. Go into the woods. I think.
I think we're
agree
taking a
with
right.
Take a right.
I think that's correct. Shine Bright, is there any way you can
Is that-
confirm this?
Is that right?
And he, again, able to understand you, sort of gives a very Mr. Ed sort of nod and response.
All right.
Perfect.
Let's be on our way.
Although, as you move into the forest, Shine Bright sort of stops at the forest edge. You notice the sort of brambles and sticks lying along the forest. He doesn't seem to want to cross into it.
I guess we
Why
gotta
are
leave
we-
them here.
Stopping. Why are we stopping? Why stop? Stop why? Stopping why?
Stop, why?
Look, friend.
I think he's
Come
lost
on.
the ability to think.
He's either drunk or dyslexic. I can't quite tell which.
He
This is
is in no
very
fighting
funny.
condition. We are walking into a fight with a fella that cannot fight.
I can
Can't you
fight.
Okay,
I
well,
can
of
fight
course you
too. Who are we fighting? I don't see anything to fight.
can. Well, let's knock first. It's polite to knock.
Okay.
So you all begin walking your way through the forest, and I would like Felix. Go ahead and make a nature check for me, please.
Okay, can do. Let's see. So I have a 3 for nature rolling. It is a 16.
16 total.
16 plus, I guess it would just be 3
All right.
for nature.
So as you're walking through the forest, you having an experience as you have going through forests like these, collecting herbs, collecting various things, you look around and notice that many of the seedlings sort of along the path that you're following are of plants that are not from this region. They're unusual for this
There
particular
appears
spot.
to be some extraterrestrial flora in this area. I mean, don't get worried, anybody. I don't think it's aliens, but there's something going on here. I don't recognize any of these plants, and I've wandered these lands for a very long time.
Who said anything about aliens? I'm afraid of aliens. Aliens shouldn't be here. What are aliens?
This is funny.
What I'm
coming from the people
referring
that talk.
to is an alien species in the area. It's just a synonym for something that is not from this area. Don't be worried, Dragonkin.
Why would I be worried of cinnamon?
There's nothing to be worried about. Just don't quite recognize these things. They're just not from this area. Something's wrong here.
Smart little one.
And
After all,
I would like
forestry's in my nature.
I would like you to give me a perception check, if you will,
Boy, oh boy.
and don't screw it up.
Talking so loud in my ear.
I got. Hold on. 18. All right, 18. Hit me.
Hit me.
Do you hit on 18?
I don't think you do that.
You get hit.
Oh boy, 28.
As Felix stops you and sort of starts talking about the flora, you look over and you notice in a tree that's near this sort of growth that it's not burnt into the tree. It's more like the bark itself grows in this pattern naturally, in the same shape as the finch on the token that you have.
I think we're walking into something maybe dangerous. I was given this coin. This coin. And you see, it is the same symbol as on this tree. We must be in the right direction.
I remember that I didn't see anything at all.
Are we walking into a cult?
I kind of want to. I want to pass the coin to you, Felix, and I want to say, do you know anything about this? You said you've traveled far. What do you think is on this coin here?
Well, it's well embezzled and it's quite pristine. This seems to be some kind of marker, some kind of calling card. We're either supposed to come exactly here or we're not supposed to be here at all. Am I helping?
Felix,
Well, I mean, we
Felix,
got
why
one.
don't you give me a history check?
Me? Sorry.
Yes.
Let's see. And just for clarity, it's the roll plus attribute modifier plus proficiency bonus?
If you're proficient in it, yes.
If you're-
History is not one you're proficient in, but you
Okay.
do still get
But
to add
nature
your
is.
intelligence.
Okay. So
I
I had a
did it.
21 on that previous roll. Not that it matters, but just for clarity.
Oh,
in my-
okay, yeah.
I did a history check once. It cost me $50 to have him do my history paper.
It's true.
I'm going to use that one
that's a knee
someday.
slapper.
Thank you. I rolled a 1 plus 1. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, what you have said is what you know. You nailed it.
You spoke words.
Listen. I know what that is. That can I for fun? Can I roll and depending on what I roll, could I say something relatively insightful? Being drunk.
Sure, go for it.
Hell yeah! All right, here we go. So rolling.
There would be no real attribute associated with this.
Yeah, I rolled a 12.
Is this like roll for being wise?
Yeah. So I can actually. Can I point something out, or is this like a no?
Sorry, are you trying to be insightful about the coin?
Yes.
Oh. Let's see. Ooh.
Be something along the lines of like history of what that might be, right? Or he's rolling to lie.
Right.
No.
Boy,
I-
howdy.
You
When I'm drunk, I want to be as helpful as possible. I'm a helpful drunk.
you have come across silver coins before. and this is undoubtedly a silver coin.
This, my friends, is a coin of silver.
So it's
You
real
s-
silver. They're not skipping on that, are they?
So we can sell
Nope.
it.
All right. Well, we've got the gnome who's said a lot and nothing at once, and you who, well, I mean, if we ever want to sell this, then I guess we could say it is in fact real silver. Thank you.
100%. You're welcome.
I like how last week I rolled a 1 on the perception check with the coin exchange that occurred in the bar, and then I roll a 1 on the coin this week.
You aggressively know nothing about what's going
Alright.
on here.
Tim, I'm gonna need you to do a
Such
couple
a
things.
failure.
So in prep, when we're like trying to figure out everything before the stream, just roll out all the ones. Just get all the ones out of that die. Just roll them all out.
Oh goodness.
So can I so I'm gonna get off the horse and give him a break. I'm gonna get off the horse. Can I just take a general look around and see if I can and see anything that gives us a clue of what we should be or anything out of place that might be there?
Sure. So right now you're probably about halfway into the forest as you're expecting the clearing to be. So you're about halfway there. So you're probably not going to see your destination yet, but you just kind of want to look around in the area that you are.
Well, we saw something that matched, right? What was it exactly?
You saw. So it's the growth of the bark in the tree itself is shaped like the symbol that's on that coin that Anam has.
And it looks naturally grown like that.
It looks like it growed like that. Yeah, it
Okay.
growed like that.
Yeah, I speak bad grammar.
Very good.
I understand. Okay. Yeah, I'm just like, okay. I think we should walk that way.
I think we might have to leave our horse friend here, or not horse, but temporarily horse.
I don't
I will-
believe that there's a person in here. I hope you guys know that. You guys are being duped. Psh.
Yo-ho, guys. Listen, I just gonna sleep on the horse, sort of. Just take a nap. Just a quick... That many. And I just kind of slump on the side of the horse. And I'm just taking a snooze while they kind of... I want to sober up, I think, in the very back of my mind. Try...
Okay.
But...
What time is it now? Have we rested?
You had a short rest at the tavern.
Oh, okay.
So anything
got
that
drunk.
comes back with short rests are there. No one had any hit point loss, so there was no need to spend a hit die to recover. Felix, you would have recovered your spells that you expended because you had the short rest. As far as from the time you left the tavern, it was probably about 40 minutes coming down the road, and then you've been going for about an hour through the forest, and you've probably got another hour to go. All right, so Sharvanda, you're going to stay behind and leaning on the horse?
I'm gonna stay behind, lean behind the horse, and just kind of. So if that much time has kind of elapsed, I've drank a lot in my time being a ruffian, so I think I can recoup really quickly. But I'm just gonna stay behind and keep watch. I'm gonna keep watch. You guys just go on ahead. I'm just going- I'll take
Okay.
care of everything.
If I've learned anything in my time of war, it's the best course of action is to always split up.
Now, that's fair, my dragonkin friend. And I'll have you know, you might not believe this is temporarily a horse, but you haven't heard it talk the way I've heard it talk. Believe me, this horse knows words. Like there is a good one he used earlier. I guess we go on without Sharvand.
I'll catch up. I swear. Just go.
Yeah,
Have fun.
Yeah.
Felix starts to lose some interest in the situation as the bickering and the kind of, banter goes back and forth. The clear unorganization of the moment starts to actually penetrate his head. And he starts just kind of wandering around 5, 10 feet away, starts looking through the flowers and some of the alien species that are around. And he realizes there is one species he's aware of. It's troll blossom. It's not exactly from this area, so it's kind of a strange place for it to be growing. It's also a place where troll blossom would grow in like large, like oak savannas. But it's kind of shady here, so it's kind of a strange place, and it's like very organized in a little plot. So he's thinking, A, why is this here? And B, it looks like it was probably relocated here, some kind of, introduced in some way. Perhaps someone lives here who appreciates troll blossom. I'd like to take or Felix would like to take a sample if he can.
Of the troll blossom specifically, or of more of them?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So let's. Why don't you give me a nature check on that? You've got. Do you have any sort of tools that help you out with that you've specifically, like an herbalism kit or anything like that?
Let me check.
So instead of a dagger in his holster, he's got a little troll there just to be able to dig it there.
I have scholar's equipment, the Outlander starting gear, and I have a gifted hand axe from Sharvanda.
Oh.
I also have alcohol. Does that help?
With troll blossom, I think that might unfortunately dissolve it. That's how cheap the vodka you got is.
Wow.
So yeah, just go ahead and roll on nature then.
Okay. I've rolled a 4.
Okay,
Oh,
that's fine.
Sorry. I've rolled a 4 plus it would be then 5. So 3 for nature and 2 for proficiency. So that'd be 9. Sorry.
Okay, much better then. So you don't collect a huge amount of it. Unfortunately, troll blossom is something that's a little bit sometimes difficult to get without sort of damaging it. So as you're trying to get to the good stuff, a little bit of it gets damaged, but you're able to get a decent amount. I don't know how dense troll blossom is, so I'm going to say you get about 3 grams of it.
Okay.
Which should be good. But yeah, you get a little bit of it.
Great. Thanks.
This is while we're having the conversation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Felix is kind of digging around, sees the troll blossom. He's kind of having trouble with there's a root or some kind of a large cavity. He's trying to get as much as he can, but kind of fumbles around, realizes he's really shouldn't be doing this. He needs to get back to his friends. Oh boy. Okay. Sorry guys, I couldn't help myself. Troll blossom is very rare, and it probably shouldn't be here. Kind of going along with the whole alien species thing. Not aliens, by the way. Just gonna take some of this. And what were we doing again?
You don't need to make an excuse if you gotta go tinkle. Just do it, man. Troll blossom, it's fine. We understand. All right, it's about time we moved on.
Sorry about that. Okay, let's go.
And the 3 of you sort of move forward, and you thinking that troll blossom is sort of a weird euphemism that gnomes use for urination, and don't know why they got that. Gnome culture.
I think out loud, maybe I should troll blossom before we go.
This is an incredibly realistic RPG. It's mandatory that you do these functions.
I'm telling you right now, there's not a true sim unless you have to use the restroom. And I think, isn't there My Summer Car does that? I'm like, oh, perfect. That's the perfect sim right there.
So the 3 of you continue on and get a little bit of distance between you and Sharvanda and Shinebright. And as you guys are sort of heading off, Sharvanda, Shinebright sort of sort of nuzzles you a few times. You're leaning on him, and sort of with his head kind of gestures with his head onto his back. And sort of lowers down a little bit, crouches down on his horse legs a little bit.
Oh, at this point, I want to be confident that I'm really starting to get into the uprising of feeling a little bit more sober, because it's been a few hours, so it feels like it. So I'm gonna say things a little bit. I'm a little bit more clear. I wasn't as crisp a while ago. So, um, you're well trained. What? They were talking to you a while ago, so I guess you have something. Something? Are you? What are you? Ugh. You're just sitting here. I guess he's tired. Me talking to myself. You, Horsey. Would you like something to drink? Preferably not alcohol.
And he just kind of like shakes his head and sort of gestures one more time with his massive horse head toward his back.
Okay. So I've noticed that he's obviously trying to I'm kind of like just kind of walking towards his general direction as he's clearly trying to direct me somewhere. So, okay. I'm walking around the horse. Is there something that I should be seeing? Do you want a neck massage? Is that what you're saying? Is it stiff neck? No.
And he just kind of and starts gesturing again as we cut back to the three moving forward. Sharvanda having this sort of discourse with a horse that he can't understand. And the three of you proceed forward and arrive at this sort of clearing area at about the distance that Shinebright told you that the house would be. You notice, because you're looking for it, the first level that he told you about, it's about 10 feet off the ground and 40 feet in diameter, this sort of disc made out of roots and vines that sort of rise out of the ground. It looks somewhat natural in the way they're designed as it sort of spreads out. And at the end of the big diameter, all these trees and flowers that are kind of growing out of it and kind of flowing down that make sort of camouflage into the forest. But now that you're looking at it, you can see, it's very clearly here, and it looks actually quite gorgeous. It's a little bit bowl-shaped. And you can see from where you are, it's 10 feet up, but you're far enough away that you can sort of see on top of it that it's on the inside this sort of like garden area with a lot of greenery and flowers and stuff. And it's bisected by a stone path. And on the other side of the stone path are these two wolves and a dog, a mastiff, that you recognize as one that you fought earlier that's got a wound on its side. And the three of them are just kind of sort of laying together. And you see this from about, from like 10 yards away.
Oh, look, Sharvanda, it's lunch.
Wait, is he with us?
So Sharvanda is still hanging back.
But can I hear him?
No.
Did he say it loud enough for me to hear?
No.
I think
we're
at this point,
pretty
Felix
far.
is still, he's just kind of like, he's picking flowers right now. I mean, he's kind of back in with everybody, but I don't even think he's really aware that Sharvanda's not with him until this very moment.
Right.
Oh, I guess she wasn't here to hear my great joke. Oh, well, he wasn't here.
I kind of perk up as if, magically I might have just heard something in the distance. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Horse.
He sort of looks up at you.
We know this. We know these mastiffs as we know that they're the same ones, or at least they look exactly the same, right?
The one, yeah. The two
Or
others
one.
are wolves, so they're
Okay.
not something you've seen earlier. But the mastiff that you see up there with them is, at least the wound that it has is in the same spot, and it's the same coloration as the one that you fought earlier.
I don't remember. Did we leave one alive?
Yes, one ran away at the end of
Okay.
combat.
Okay.
I think that was the one I hit with my staff, maybe. It wasn't enough to, blunt force, but wasn't able to kill it.
And sorry, Sharvanda, you were saying something to Shine Bright?
Yeah, I'm like, you know, Shine Bright, or sorry, Horse. I feel oddly strange just standing in the back here while those three have all the fun. Dear. And then I just kind of have this like really silly, goofy moment where I'm just like, you want us to go with them. Is that right? You wanted us to go with them, correct? Yes? And I'm like, huh?
And he sort of looks at you for a moment before going,
Well, but let's. I kind of, assuming there's rains, I'm like this. Let's get down to it then.
So you sort of get up onto him and he stands up again and he's very tentatively moving through the underbrush. So it'll take you a moment to catch up with the others, but the two of you will arrive with them.
I gave him a pat. I'm giving you a little pat, and I'm just like, gave the Dragonborn a ride, and now it's right as rain. As we travel on, I just have this really look of satisfaction, like finally, you didn't flip me over this time, so
Just looking for a win there.
yes, absolutely.
And you all feel the wind beginning to pick up in the forest as well. The branches in the upper parts of the tree sort of starting to whip.
This isn't like affecting us physically, is it?
No, not yet.
Okay.
It's just windy.
He said not yet, guys.
You all sort of have appropriate clothing for wind conditions, so perhaps you're like pulled up your scarf a little bit to keep the wind from getting in and being cold, but
Got it.
yeah, you're fine.
Okay. Can I attempt to approach the Mastiff and kind of try to make peace?
Sure. So the bowl that you see sort of has this natural root path that leads down from the bowl to the ground. That's about 10 feet wide. So you could go up to that. You could go up that. Yeah, you would have to go up that and onto the bowl.
Okay. Yeah, I want to do that.
Okay. And the rest of you, as you see Deli stepping forward.
Are you sure?
What's it gonna do?
I mean, they could try to bite your neck, maybe, and
Did you see what I did to the other two?
well, yeah, I was there, but I'm just trying to, make decent, proper risk assessment here. If you're gonna do that, then I gotta go with you, because if you get, stabbed in the neck or eaten by the neck, then I gotta at least punch them,
So I pull out one of my rations and I sort of break it into a piece and I say, I'll be nice. I'll be nice. I'll try to make friends.
All right.
I take it and I walk over.
And Felix, in this moment, begins to panic a bit and realizes the dog he sees is the one that he failed to kill. And at this point, he's kind of developing a bit of a fear of dogs. Oh, no. Oh, no, this is terrible. I remember this one. I don't like dogs at all. And he kind of like he just retreats. He retreats to the nearest tree. He has two daggers with him. He proceeds to shove them into the tree, kind of off-centered, shoving them in, stepping on one as it's in the tree, stepping on the other, and just trying to gain a little bit of elevation off the ground as he hugs the tree cowardly.
I kind of say it as I see this. I'm like, don't worry, little one. If we get one, we can tame it and make it your horse.
Oh, kind of you, very kind, Dragonborn, but I think I'm fine just on my own person here, next to this tree.
So, Anam, are you going to stay in the sort of border of the clearing and let Deli go, or are you going to go up with her?
I'm gonna be with her,
Okay.
Gotta bring up the support.
All right. So both of you are going to go forward. How would you are you side by side? Are you behind her a little bit of ways? How are you approaching?
I think I'm next to her.
Okay. So the two of you walk up this this natural root ramp, and you see that the now up closer you could see that the two wolves are sort of lying protectively around the one mastiff. All three of them sort of like nestled into a little lean-to sort of area, and between that and between the trees in the building or in the bowl that are surrounding them, it sort of cuts off the wind that's coming in. So they're protected there, and all three of them are actually asleep.
All right. See, we don't need to make friends. We can just walk on by.
Oh. And then, so the dogs are asleep, or
Yeah.
the wolves are asleep.
Yes.
I look back at Anam and I'm like, aren't you like special? Can't you like speak to animals or something like you did to the horse or whatever?
I spent many years not speaking to anything at all, so I'm just starting to exercise these muscles again. I haven't mastered the art of dog speak yet. No.
It's like 3 sounds. It's like woof and bark and.
Then why
Wow,
can't
wow.
you speak it?
I don't know. I saw you speaking to the horse and I couldn't understand.
Well, that's different. He made me hear him in my head. It was weird. I don't want to do it again. I'm not ready yet. I need to meditate for about 60 more hours.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Oh,
I think we can just sneak by him.
well, I was just gonna. So if I look around, is there anything that is maybe special to this? Like, are they protecting him? They're surrounding him? Do they look like they're protecting, or are they just all cuddling?
I mean, it's hard to tell. I mean, it's wolf posture, right? But they are. It does seem to be protective.
Felix is having second thoughts about this. Cold sweat runs on him. He begins to tire as he's hugging this tree that's much larger than him. He's trying to balance himself on these daggers he haphazardly put in the tree that he's standing on as like steps. Oh, maybe perhaps they actually need me. Maybe perhaps this is not the best position for me. Okay. All right. And he kind of like stumbles off of one of the daggers and kind of like just like lands on his butt. And he gets up, kind of, his body is kind of blocky the way it's shaped, so small and low, 41 pounds, 3'5" or something. And he struggles to get himself up. Okay, wait for me. And he chases after Anam and Deli, wanting to not be left behind in this moment where he cowering, but he's found some resolve to join the party again. But he left his daggers behind. He just forgot.
So Sharvanda, on the back of this horse, as you start coming to this clearing, you see Felix just kind of take off in full sprint along the ground, and Shinebright sort of stops at the edge of the clearing and just like stands there now. You see, you also do see Deli and Anam up on the top of the roots.
Would you get a load of that gnome's speed? Goodness. It just reminds me of an animal that's just takes off in a speed of blue.
Can I Sim, can I ask what is your speed? I don't know if gnomes take any speed negatives or anything.
My speed is 25.
Yeah, so they do. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's running.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look. I'm assuming he doesn't run nearly as fast as like a normal human or anything.
I run a really fast 30-minute mile. God, I tell you though.
Boy, howdy.
I'm
When I'm really
I'm
scared,
assuming-
I can really go.
his feet have the his feet being moving much faster than we can. It probably kicks up a lot of dust, is what I'm seeing.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it looks like he's just taking off like a shot, and I'd be like, huh. So I'm kind of heading towards them, and I'm noticing the two like daggers are stuck onto the tree. It's just kind of awkward, and I'd be like, I'm assuming that I'm like, man, some rogues just don't know how to throw a dagger. And I shake my head as I'm going by, and I'd be like, in a kind of like a very jovial voice, because I have no idea what's going on. I'd go, ahoy! How are you guys doing? And I look at them. I'm just kind of, hey, I'm here.
So you're out at the corner of the clearing shouting at them?
Yep. I just give them. I'm assuming I'm in a constant movement, so you can imagine the way I'm seeing it is the clearing. I'm just breaking through the clearing as you know, Felix is kind of catching up to them, running away. I see you guys, so I'm a bit of a showboater. So I just like to make my presence known to you guys, my new friends. So I'm just like, ahoy, what's up? I don't know why Felix is running away. He could just be running. He's an interesting character. So I wanted to just assume there was nothing wrong. Ahoy, what's up?
Like
Loud.
to turn to Deli and just say, didn't expect to see him again.
Oh, and I'm like, oh, shh.
I can read lips.
Or can you read this? For a rogue, you don't know what subtlety is.
As I'm doing.
I forgot to tell you. I think you were supposed to filter that vodka before drinking it. It's not very expensive stuff. It said on the instructions on the bottle. I'm sorry, I didn't know at the time. You're supposed to filter through a loincloth yourself, triple filter, and I don't know.
I'm just
doing
kind of like
okay?
looking at you, and I'm just kind of doing one of those like, yeah, more like I'm just kind of like almost dismissing you because you're I've known you as a very very worrisome person, so I'm just like, yeah, yeah, I'm fine, Gnome, but thank you for caring, but you have a very impressive walk. I almost thought you were running.
Oh.
So
And I'm talking really loudly, just nothing.
you're still
nothing.
talking loudly? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you recovered, but you need to stay quieter. There's sleeping dogs
So
over here.
until now you were fine, but now the dogs have heard. The two wolves wake up, the mastiff wakes up, and they see you immediately and growl and begin moving toward you. Everyone's going to need to roll initiative at this point.
And I kind of scowl at both of them. You could have, and now I'm like, you could have said something.
I don't have words. All right.
Wait, is that a mastiff? Delicious.
I don't want to hear it. I got her 15.
Oh no, not the smell of burning hair again. I can't take it.
I got 15.
15.
Sorry, was
it's
that
up to you,
3
Sim.
15s?
Okay.
Yeah, it's up to you, Sim.
12.
Oh, close.
All right. Okay, so the oops, why don't I switch over to this? Ooh. Wait, don't look yet. Shoot, wait, I've ruined this. Stop looking. You only actually see this part so far. No, I'm moving the wrong thing. Everything's a miss. No, we're fine.
What?
Oh, you guys actually maybe can't even see this anyway.
No, we see it on stream. That's it.
Yeah, okay. If you're looking
I
at
wasn't looking until you told me not to.
Oh no. You guys are just
All
in
I
a
see is a
different
bunch of
spot than
angry
you actually are here.
dogs.
Don't look at me.
Which is fine. I'll just move y'all. So let's see. Shine Bright would be down here. And then let's see. Charvanda would be here. You guys were up. And Felix running up as well. All right. And we said the wolves and the doggy. All right. Well, so the first short wolf here, having now heard you, begins growling at you and doesn't actually charge, but just kind of stands there growling and almost sort of backing up a little bit, but does not make an aggressive attack at you. The other wolf kind of does the same thing, just kind of like growling, raising hackles, not really coming at you quite yet.
Okay.
Anam, how would you like to respond to this situation? Now, the wolves have just woken up. Charvanda sort of shouting. You guys are trying to shush him, and you kind of glance over your shoulder, and you notice like these two wolves have come up, and both of them are kind of growling at you.
I want to try and intimidate them.
Okay.
I want to see if I can scare them off.
How would you like to do that?
Spread my stance. Get like low. Pull out my hands like this. Be like, ah! You know, just kind of scream at them. Did you get all of that?
Okay. Yes.
Okay,
go
good.
ahead and roll an intimidation.
Okay, we got. All right, let's see.
I thought he told us to be quiet.
We got 10 intimidations.
All right. They seem to almost chuckle in sort of a wolf-like way, but it's a little bit of like a but then they're back to growling.
Anam, that was adorable. You should consider working at an animal shelter.
Rare.
Yeah. Says
there
the guy in
anything
touch
else?
with nature. I suppose I could take that one. Yeah.
Is there anything else you have up your sleeve? You can move
All right,
too
now I'm
if
mad.
you have. Okay.
Now I'm mad that they're laughing at me, so I'm gonna punch them. I'm gonna punch the tall one right in the jaw.
No.
So your growling there, I'll say, has to be your action for this turn. So you've got movement, but you
Okay.
couldn't make an offensive attack.
All right, I'm gonna charge at them then. I'm gonna just get closer.
Okay. So you sort of down growling at them. They sort of laugh, and you decide to up your intimidation a little bit. You'll like square up with the wolves. Come
Yeah,
forward a little bit on them. Absolutely.
Mike Tyson them real soon.
Charvanda,
yeah.
now you've actually seen Anam start running toward these wolves, and he's sort of pulled your eye over to him, and you see these two wolves and the wounded mastiff from earlier sort of growling at you. How would you like to
So
respond
the
to
wounded
this?
mastiff is growling at me.
No, well, you're all sort of far away from them. They're just kind of growling in your general direction.
I'd be like, so the very first thing, I'm just kind of like sitting there, kind of like in my mind, like split second. Damn it, Charvanda, you and your big mouth, right? And then I quickly go, all right. Am I close? Can I be close enough for marksmanship? Can I go for an arrow shot?
Oh yeah, for sure. Your
Okay.
arrows. Oh, I don't have your range written down on the bow, but you're absolutely close enough. Yeah.
So the question I have to ask is that you said they chuckled. They like, so that's like a humanistic quality. They kind of chuckled like in a very cartoonish way. Is there any way I could tell if they are able to be spoken to? Like, would they, without me understanding animal care, if they can react accordingly, is there any way I can kind of like, because I kind of subtly picked up on that. I'm like, yo, they laughed at him.
Roll animal handling.
Well, damn.
I know it's not one of your best abilities.
No, especially with that other young lady smashing my head in. Yeah, I remember that.
It doesn't have to be great. When they fall on the floor, it's an automatic 1, I'm afraid.
All right. Well,
Wait, really?
All right.
no.
Well,
I was like, oh my god, dude.
No.
wow, that's quite the rule.
Brutal.
fine. Yeah. So 1.
No, I'm just
Roll on
kidding.
the floor, you die.
All right, I guess we're investing in dice trays.
All right, so while he looks for that, actually, no, I need to know the result of that.
I'll roll for him. Oh darn, it's a 1. Well,
Yeah, he can't do anything. Holding your turn is an action, though, and you, Sharvanda and Deli actually have the same initiative. Oh, did... Nope, okay.
Hold on.
Deli, go ahead and
Okay.
react to this. So now you've seen Anam, who you've kind of come up with, charge forward at the wolves, who have started growling now.
Right. So extra frustrated with the fact that my plan has been ruined. I don't pull out my weapons. I get on all fours, as a dragonborns usually stand up tall, but I'm gonna get on all fours because that's also a thing, is like an intimidation factor. And I'm going to yell. I'm gonna yell at them to lay down, like really loudly, and intimidate them to lay down. Like
Okay.
I'm mad.
You go ahead and make an intimidation check.
Yeah. Oh, I rolled a 2, but I got +5, so that's 7. That sucks.
I rolled a 15. I swear.
For your animal handling?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, 16, but including the animal handling, which is a 1.
You growl at them, and now having seen both of you sort of react in this very bestial way toward them, they don't really... They don't back down. They're not afraid of you, but they sort of look to each other, and it seems like they're thinking and trying to decide a little bit. And Sharvanda, as you're animal handling and you're sort of looking at this, you're noticing this and you're thinking about this. And, you've been out in the woods before. You've had to tangle with a wolf. Not that you kill them on the regular, but you see them and how they behave. And you do pick up on the fact that they're not behaving like wolves do. They're moving like wolves. They've got the strength of wolves. They've got the speed of wolves. They're behaving like wolves, but they seem to be acting intelligently.
Anam, I kind of yell out to Anam. Anam, forget about our past. I know I was a drunken idiot before, but look, they are not regular wolves. I know what I'm talking about. For once, look, they're kind of communicating. They laughed at you, for crying out loud.
yeah, and I'm mad now.
So Felix, you sort
Hot-headed
of...
monk.
Felix,
Can I use a minor action before we move on?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
So my gear isn't out yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pull out my shield and my sword, but I'm gonna stick the shield in the ground, so it's more like a barrier.
Stick the shield in the ground?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So
All
it's
right.
just standing up straight.
Yeah, and the roots kind of give way evenly. You're on the stone path as well, and it's sort of like a gravel, so it just kind of
Okay.
sticks really nicely into it.
Okay, cool.
It's a white path too, so shining against your shield like that, it's a really good look. Really cool
Epic.
looking.
Going on the calendar.
You're so pretty.
So Felix, you're sort of standing behind Anam, who has run in, and Deli, who's sort of like put this barricade up. How would you like to respond?
So, Felix is an outdoorsman, and kind of has this like internal struggle of like, is an outlander, but also he's kind of cowardly and doesn't really know how to handle moments like this where he's getting attacked by beasts. So he's reaching for his walking staff, which he put away in this moment because he was actually running. He reaches for it and he kind of remembers that didn't work so well last time. So he tries to find his hand axe in the bag, but he just can't quite grab it. So he realizes he's running out of time. He grabs a bottle of liquor and just kind of like smashes it against the armor there, and just kind of against Deli's armor, hoping that nothing will happen, just to break it, and holds it out kind of bravely, but also like
Are we in a
dear.
bar fight?
I guess we're really in it now. Using this as kind of a impromptu dagger or something.
Oh man.
That's as far as this plan is going.
And up until this point, sort of the smell of the peat of the roots has been assailing you. Now suddenly back where you are, it's just this really sharp smell of vodka, almost like a paint thinner or a nail polish removal, just suddenly hits you as the ground soaks. And
I think I
glass
broke the
shatters
good
all
stuff.
around.
I kind of look over and it's like, yeah, I'm taking you in a bar fight. That's for sure.
Is that it for you?
Yeah, I'm not sure what we're going to consider as a weapon. I imagine just as like a temporary weapon for this.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
sure
we've
what
got
it's
rules for improvised weapons, so we'll figure that out.
Improvised weapons. Yep.
So now the
Bring it
mastiff that you
on.
recognize as being the wounded one, you could see sort of like visibly flinches when you make that shattering sound, and it begins to like sneak behind the other two wolves and sort of move along the back perimeter. Not really toward you, just kind of moving around the perimeter a little bit toward the toward the ramp. And then the two wolves sort of follow in around. Anam, you have walked up to one of the wolves and are right next to it, and no, actually, I take it back. Sorry, it's technically engaged in melee combat with you, but it's going to disengage and then move along the perimeter as well. So they have moved to this point, and they're kind of like walking around the perimeter, kind of keeping their eyes on you, kind of moving slowly as they get closer and closer. Anam.
I don't know.
It seems like as you've walked up to that wolf, they've sort of backed down a little bit. You're up in front, so the only thing you've heard behind you is the shattering of the glass. You don't really see what anybody else has done. But you're kind of, walking up to them, and the wolves are kind of backing away and backing around you, and you sort of turn around and watch them.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like the right thing to hit them, even though I probably could. This doesn't. I don't know. I tried to intimidate them. That didn't work. I don't want to hit them because I kind of believe Charvan, and that this is something's not right here. Obviously, I had the coin from earlier. It makes me think. We encountered the guy the bar that shapeshifted into a polar bear, which are definitely not indigenous to where we are right now. I'd never seen a polar bear before, actually, so that was exciting. It's crazy, but I don't know. I'm just kind of confused.
I'm sorry. Did you say you believe Sharvanda?
I know that's a tough one, right? But I mean I got the evidence right in front of me. They could have bitten my neck. I'm sure if they were actually wolves. I don't think they're wolves. I think they're temporarily wolves. I don't want to just hit them yet.
Guess you could try charming them or something.
Charming them. I
don't know.
So their attention is like, what are they focused on right now? Just like moving around to the ramp.
Yeah, they seem to be keeping their eye on you, but they're not necessarily doing anything aggressive. They're just kind of working their way around the border toward the ramp.
They're trying to surround us?
They could cut us off, actually, but I don't know if that's what's happening. Maybe they just want to leave.
We need a Jigglypuff to cast Charm.
They're probably going after Shinebright because no one's guarding Shinebright at this point.
Oh, that's right. The Mastiffs did go straight for Shinebright.
Huh. Wow. Okay.
So Anam, as these thoughts sort of go through your head, as you're like, are they friendly? Are they being aggressive? Are they going after Shinebright? You're kind of, trying to think through what could be happening here.
Yeah. That's a tough one.
So the path that I followed down, or that we both followed down, is that the only way back that way?
That you followed up, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, it was
as
was it-
far as you could see. Yeah, that's the rest of the bowl that you're in is sort of like this really dense, just like tree all the
okay.
way around, except in
Okay.
this area that's opened and the roots kind of flow down from it.
Right.
Are they going in Shinebright's general direction?
Shinebright is not on the bowl. He's still at the edge of the clearing, so they're not really heading toward Shinebright. They're more heading toward the ramp, and the ramp leads to Shinebright. It's not clear what their intentions are yet.
I don't know, man. That's a thonker right there.
It's morally gray. You
It
can opt
is.
to delay your action if you'd like. You could delay your action and declare a reaction, like, if something happens, I will do this. But I will stand here until then.
Yeah, I might do that. If there is combat that happens, I would want to react to that.
Okay. So you will sort of keep your eye on things until you notice an aggressive action?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
All right.
Like Overwatch.
Sharvanda.
All right. So at this point, noticing some trends with seeing some humanistic conversation, I'm noticing that they're not regular wolves, and my tussle in the bar after being knocked the heck out by once I thought was a young lady turned into a bear. I wanna just try my best to say with the utmost confidence, right? So I'm gonna talk to them. I'll be like, so what's it like turning into a wolf? Does your bones crack and crinkle when you transform, or is that just, a druid thing? Like, who are you? I say that with confidence in hopes that if I think they are druids, they turn into a human form and talk with us.
So they look at you as you say it. They sort of make eye contact with you as you say it, but don't seem to give any clear indication whether they understand you or whether they're choosing to respond or not. They just still seem to be edging toward the border.
So I am going to unholster my bow, and I'm going to kind of say, if you leave, because I know for a fact that they understand me. If you leave this premises if you just leave, I will put one between your eyes, and it doesn't matter who.
Okay. So you say that, and I suppose would like to ready an action to where if
Yep.
they make a leave, you'll fire that shot?
I will fire the shot at the... Do I have a clear shot at the Mastiff?
You've got a
Just-
clear shot
I
at
want-
all three.
So I'll take out the Mastiff to make a point clear. Like,
Okay.
I don't care. Yeah.
All right.
Killing blow.
So Deli, now you've heard Sharvanda say this, and he's pulled out his bow and is aiming it at the Mastiff now. You're still sort of standing on the top of the roots with your shield down in the path.
So still kind of trying to figure everything out, and in the heat of the moment, while I'm yeah, it's morally gray whether or not I want to hurt them or not. And I see him knock an arrow. I try once again to yell to stand down, as loud as possible. Stand down, lay down, be good boys, essentially. So I'm gonna try another intimidation.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for that.
12 plus 7, so okay, 19.
Okay. Okay. The three of them sort of look at Sharvanda with the bow and sort of look at you as well. And the lead wolf sort of stops and the mastiff sort of bumps into his back, and the back wolf sort of bumping into him as well. And it seems like they're sort of stopping now and sort of waiting and just kind of looking and waiting. Felix.
First, I'm assuming the first time I tried it, my voice cracked. This time not as much.
Right. It's, there's something to be said about, like, if you double down on your intimidation, you've got to start thinking, like, maybe they've got something to back it up if he's willing to try it a second time,
Yeah.
Force of will
So
definitely
physically, I'm attempting to look like I'm guarding the path by putting the shield down and everything.
Yeah.
So like attempting to say, hey, you come here where you're gonna have trouble.
Yeah. So it's clear to them then that you're sort of like blocking their retreat. They're sort of making the walk for it and sort of looking at you, looking around, and as they're getting up close to you, they're seeing that, you're kind of blocking their angle out. They'd have to completely go around you to do it, and it's clear you're not going to move for them.
And now there's booze all over my shield, and
now there's booze everywhere.
Smelly.
Yeah, that smell is strong. Felix, you've got that improvised bottle out. They're sort of coming at you now. Deli's a little bit in front of you now with her presence kind of wide, and the wolves seem to have stopped, and you're behind her with your bottle.
So, I'm trying to think of how I want to go about this. So Felix is clearly still like cowering. He's still like, he's like behind the shield and holding it, like, bracing it with one arm. And then, with the other arm, he's got the broken glass. Stay away from me. Stay away from me. We've done nothing wrong here. And then he's kind of, shaking the bottle a bit. He's gonna go in for a kind of a jab with the bottle to the nearest target, or at least if it's not super near, he kind of like beckons towards them. If you come near me, I'm gonna stab you with this very nasty bottle.
Avasti.
So they're not quite in stabbing range. If you want to stay behind or right next to Deli, you'd have to step forward a little bit. Do you want to step forward to do it? Or just stay back and lunge threateningly?
I want to stay back. And lunge threateningly. Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's brave enough to stand his ground. He's not brave enough to actually try to stab the dog, though. He's just kind
I'll
of
say this then. I'll say you're not rolling intimidation, but let's have you roll deception.
Okay, that sounds good.
Let's see if in your worry you can fake that you're gonna stand up to them.
Is a 10 plus 4, 14.
Okay, so but with the combination of the arrow knocked at them, this huge dragonborn standing there, and now this I almost called you a dwarf. My apologies. This gnome who's sort of gesturing threateningly with this bottle. It takes a little bit more effect on them that you're backing up your friends. It seems now that it's too scary, and even if you're not that super scary, it's definitely 3. And with Anam there as well, they do feel overwhelmed. So they are, in fact, stopping. And I'll take us out of initiative order as well now, because the wolves have actually sort of stopped themselves and are not moving forward anymore, not taking any aggressive action, just kind of stopping and looking between you and sort of waiting to see what you're going to tell them to do, now having told them to stop.
They're waiting for me to do something?
No, they're waiting for all of you.
Oh, okay.
So we're out of initiative order now, so anyone can do anything they'd like.
I think I still have that coin, and I think that would play a key part here, but I don't know what information to give them, I don't know what to say. Because obviously they're not just wolves, and they have something to do with the Order of the Finch, but, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Are they just following, I'm assuming Noka's here, are they just following his orders and
We could attempt to pull it out and kind of just say,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
I mean,
sniff it.
yeah.
Sniff this.
You know, I just don't want to give away my life story. Hi, this is from some person at an inn. This is Shine Bright over here. How you doing? You know, I don't want
How you doing?
to, man. You know, hey, what's up? Hello. I guess
Hey.
At this point, what do you have to lose, though, right?
yeah,
They stop.
His neck.
They're no.
As
they're
he
no-
said many times, his neck.
yeah.
But we have his back, as
I
far
mean,
as you
I'm
know.
kind of far from everyone else, so if they were to just,
I got a good shot.
yeah, right. You got a shot, and you know, Felix is intimidating. We're a very intimidating, although dim bunch. You know.
Your charisma is doing work for you guys here.
Yeah. So I guess I'll pull out the coin and just show it to them and see how they react. And then decide.
Okay. So you're gonna kind of like lean down a little bit and sort of hold it out and show it to them and invite them up to come sniff it, or are you wanting to show them from a distance?
It is real silver. Come, I mean, well, it depends.
Are you selling it to them?
If I pull it out and they just growl, then I'm
Okay.
not obviously going to, hey, you know. But yeah. So
So they look over
Yes.
and notice you pull something out, but don't seem to respond in any
all
way.
right, then I'll approach them and allow them to inspect it.
Okay.
So,
Go ahead.
Felix, in his kind of, you know, he's still like in a defensive state, you know, kind of guarding himself, kind of, you know, peeking behind the shield with the broken bottle. It's like glass hanging off of it because it's still connected to the sticker on the side label. It's just kind of looks kind of pathetic at this point, as everyone still kind of like has, you know, they've let their guard down a bit, but he has not. And he looks over at Anam and says, he like points the bottle at him. Do you think this is really the right time to try to pay them off? They can't use currency. They're dogs, you fool. He still doesn't he doesn't know anything about this trinket you're using. He just thinks it's a coin.
Felix is close to me. He's physically close to me, right?
Felix
Yeah,
is
he
right
feels
next
like a
to you, yeah.
hostage right now. He feels like we're paying off dogs to try to.
I
not-
attempt to put my hand on his shoulder just to sort of reassure him.
May I walk? Can I walk by and can I? If I could sleight of hand, just kind of pick up the axe and just kind of gently go. It's better to use one of these, kind of thing.
Pick up the axe.
So he has a small axe that I gave him,
Oh, so you're like wanting to take it out of his.
his pocket, and just kind of
Right.
like. Maybe you want to use this instead. But I'm obviously, I'm a bit more of a ruffian, so it's kind of sarcastic / jesting, but a little bit more on the sarcastic side.
Right. So you're behind. So and Felix is quite distracted. So you're quite able to get it and sort of hold it out in front of him.
Felix responds, "Don't patronize me. You think you have any more of these booze? I saw the way you handle your booze. Next time, use the cheesecloth to filter it first, you fool."
You heathen! What are you doing?
So Felix just is having none of it. He's just panicked and scared and cold sweat, hot sweat, just really.
Can I take his, at least kind of slowly, like almost take his hand and just kind of go, use the axe.
No.
It is a weapon.
I
No?
don't think so. He
Here's-
might swipe at you or something. Yeah, he's more like he's not like feral, but he's just like he doesn't.
You're foaming from the mouth.
He's probably gonna see you as a threat soon if you keep pushing him. Probably.
Felix,
I think
it's probably better if he
interestingly,
holds
in a
his bottle of
clearing with
alcohol.
wolves and a dog, is the most feral one here right now.
All right. So I just put it
Yeah.
next to him.
So
like
as
this.
you're sort of doing this sleight of hand technique and interacting and ribbing with each other a little bit, Anam is stepping forward, and the wolves are sort of, regarding you and clearly wanting to stay away from this crazy gnome who's just looking to cause some cuts on someone. And they look at the coin, and they sort of sniff it, and they look at you, and they seem to kind of be waiting for a. What would you like us to do with this sort of look? Like, Okay, we sniffed it. What now?
I kind of stop and I look over. He sniffed the coin, but he didn't eat the monk.
Progress.
Now-
That's a good. Yeah. I'm
Now,
still here.
Anam, I would think you've probably encountered druids before, at least prior to earlier today when you saw the polar bear. Do you think you've
Yeah.
probably encountered a druid before, having wandered the countryside?
I mean, yeah, it's not a concept I'm foreign in, but I don't really understand like the druid culture, like how they operate. in
Okay.
terms of orders.
So this is something you would know, and anyone who maybe has had encounters with this particular type, or a particular type of druid before, a shape-shifting type of druid before, would know that druidic shape-shifting is voluntary, that they can shift into and out of their animal form at will. So definitely it seems like a behavior that's unusual, that they would be staying in their animal form rather than speaking to you.
Yeah. So knowing this, I sort of I walk up and I'm just like, hey, I need you to do something. Can you take me to your home or wherever your master might be? Who did this to you?
You're talking to the wolves?
Yeah.
The three of them kind of look at you, and the shorter wolf and the mastiff sort of look at each other as the taller one sort of tentatively starts moving back around again the perimeter to closer to where it was. Do any of you want to take an action as the wolf is sort of moving away? It's not moving toward the ramp or anything. It's actually
As they move, I sort of turn back to everybody. I'm like, if these guys are anything like who we saw back there, or even the pony dude, there's something else going on. I think we should follow them.
To confirm, the Mastiff is also a druid?
There's nothing to confirm. We don't know that yet.
No, we don't know that. Okay, because I'm gonna probably I have a sinking stone feeling in my stomach that I might have eaten a brother or a sister of theirs.
You slowly have a realization come over you
Oh,
that little bit of stomach upsetness that you were feeling from earlier might not have in fact been due to a concussion at all, but it may have been something that you ate earlier, not agreeing with you.
I have a question about polymorphism.
Yes.
Do you change into the flesh of the animal as well, or is it like formed?
You mean at like a cellular level?
Yeah, like
I mean, yeah, when you're polymorphed, the clothes that you're wearing also become part of the animal that you turn into.
just
So
wondering
it's,
what part of it is still human, or if assuming it is human.
I mean, I would say probably at a molecular level, it's the animal. It's their soul,
Okay.
their way of being that's inside the animal. But
Gosh, I hope I just ate undershorts or something, man.
Okay, that's a
tried
little
so
bit,
hard
that's a little
to
better.
believe that he did not eat people.
I did not eat a person. I did not eat a person. I'm almost turning as feral as our friend, as Felix right now.
you cooked them too, if that makes it better. It wasn't raw person.
Just throwing it on the
all
fire
right.
and taking it right back off. Is that really cooking?
Good. yeah,
Well-
that's a good point. I guess
Very
you
must
rimworld
see
of
the
you,
mistake.
Fruitbats.
Listen, if you've ever eaten a Mastiff before, medium rare is the way to go. Almost.
All
rare.
right. Well, thanks for your insight.
So the wolf continues along the edge, sort of looking a little bit more concerned now, the mastiff looking dramatically more concerned. It gets itself to the edge, and it sort of paws at this like vine with like roses on it pedestal, this marble pedestal at sort of one of the far edges of the little bowl shape that you're in. It's also on the side that you could see now from your elevated perspective, and as you're looking over there, sort of over the treetops, you could see another sort of sphere area similar to the one you're standing on, and wider. And it paws at that pedestal.
So the pedestal is like okay.
It's raised. It's a bit more like a lectern, I suppose. but it's not one that you would stand behind and speak. It's just that size, sort of
Google's
like chest
lectern.
high to a human.
I was gonna. Yeah.
So yeah, lectern. Okay, okay, got it.
Oh, sorry. Did I just make a bunch of people Google lectern?
I may have Googled.
It's like a
lectern.
lecture. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Google's lectern. So yeah, it's something you lecture from. Got it. Okay.
But it's not actually that, though. It's just
Sure,
shaped
sure,
like
sure.
that. Yeah.
But it's is it flat?
It's flat on top. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Put the coin on top of it. Who knows? See what happens.
You said there's like a wider. There's like another sphere, like larger than the bowl that we're in right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's not a sphere. It's a circle. Sort of a circular bowl, roughly shaped the same way, also surrounded in sort of trees. When you were down below on the ground, you couldn't quite see it. It just kind of looked like the tops of trees to you that you were looking into. But now that you're a little bit higher up and can see it, it looks like another one of the sort of artificial bowls that you're standing on.
Okay. He's pawing at the lecturnistal. I don't know. Is there anything that investigating it would tell me?
Well, you can always try.
I could. All right. Well.
Is there anything in particular you're looking for while you investigate it?
Symbols, writing, any sort of sign as to why this particular object draws interest. Why is it significant?
So you see... So that's not something you'd have to investigate. That's just, you would be able to see it.
Okay.
So you don't have to, like, look for anything hidden there. You do see... what languages do you speak? Actually, I'll tell you this. You would probably recognize it. You see what looks like Elven script.
Okay.
Do you speak Elven?
Nope.
Then you just see Elven script.
Okay. Does anyone here speak Elven?
Hi.
All right. Come on up.
Are you half elf, right? No, you're human, right? Never mind.
Yeah, no, I'm a human, but you see, one of the things I learned from my nobility family was they forced me to take an extra course, and it was an elective, so I took.
My parents can afford education.
Wow.
If it makes you feel any better, Dragonborn, I ran away.
Wow.
Like, look at the robot.
That does make me feel better.
Shut
Great.
up. I kind of whisper under my breath, lizard breath, as I kind of walk towards the lectern, and I'm looking at the text right now, and I'm observing it.
Go ahead and make a knowledge history check.
Oh my gosh, knowledge history. I'm an idiot though. 2.
Well then.
So you can read the words. The words written on the pedestal are May Tref Cathode, but that doesn't ring any sort of bells for you.
Okay, can I say that? So I'm going to say it says May Tref Cathode.
And then as you say that, very silently, which is sort of weird, so you almost don't see it until your peripheral vision kind of pulls you up. But the trees on the outskirts of right in front of where you are on the pedestal start to splay open, and these roots that are underneath the platform that you're standing on unfurl out and sort of extend across and wrap into other roots that have done the same thing from the other side, sort of making this makeshift bridge that leads from where you are to another platform that's above you that has now also similarly splayed and opened up.
I think we just spoke friend and entered.
I kind of like, I have a really kind of like side smirk on my face, like, look what I did. And I look at the Dragonborn and I go, huh,
Yeah, and I say, yeah, thanks, Sam. Say your name incorrectly to bring you down a notch.
And Felix, on hearing this, Sharvanda, how did you understand the Shine Bright? Shine Bright said those words earlier. How did? There's some kind of connection going on.
And I just kind of stopped and I went, wait, the horse said that?
Yes, yes. Shine Bright said those words, that this is the passcode. The words you spoke.
So now I'm looking like I'm feeling kind of disconnected and kind of weirded out that this kind of worked out in a weird way. And I'm kind of looking at Felix and I'm going, okay, Felix. Anything else the magical horsey said?
I just want to pat you on the back and say, good job. You know, you're a drunk who ran away from a free education, but we're all messed up in our own way. So, you know, well, I appreciate you.
And then I kind of snap around and I just go, I imitate the little scary thing that you try to do with the wolves. Huh.
Oh, shots fired. Shots
All right.
fired.
Well,
Looks like we're all a
following.
bunch of ruffians at heart, aren't we, Monk?
Exactly. I mean, look, okay, in the face of the enemy, no plan is survived. I think it's a good time to take 5.
Yes. I think we should. So
That was great.
On that note,
So now that these vines have sort of opened up, leading down, Sharvanda sort of, as you look up at it, the rest of you aren't quite close enough to see up the ramp because you're blocked by the trees. But Sharvanda, you sort of look up, and in that platform area right above you, you see actual, wooden floor, like constructed wooden floor. You see the bottom because you're like 10 feet underneath it, so you see the sort of bottoms of tables and chairs and other sort of furniture in there up on the second platform. And while you ponder how you would like to respond to that, we will go ahead and take a quick 5-minute break and be back in just a moment. Folks, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having fun with our second session of Myths of Mistral. We'll find out if the players are able to figure out the mystery of this particular treehouse when we return in 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Be right back, guys. Thank you guys for your patience. Welcome back. Hope you had a pleasant break. We did. Actually, I'll only speak for myself. I did. Did everybody else have a nice break?
My time's been terrible.
Oh.
It's been
It
absolutely
went, it went
worst.
absolutely awesome.
It was very, very productive.
No, this is great.
In the first half of today's session, the players have moved on with Shinebright and have now discovered Shinebright's home, occupied, we think, perhaps by his apprentice Ahmed Noak, who could be inside with Shinebright's stolen Wand of True Polymorph. The players have come up onto the first level of the 3 levels of the home and discovered some wolves and an injured mastiff in the first bowl. They were able to parlay with them and sneak past without any sort of engagement. The wolves and mastiff now sitting patiently waiting to see what the players have done, which is opened a pathway up to the second layer of the tree. These magical roots have unfurled, opening a way up to the second area where you see this sort of furnished, wood-finished area up on the second level. The second level, by the way, is, as I mentioned, wider than the previous one. The one you're on right now is about 40 feet in diameter, and the second one is about 60 foot in diameter.
Okay. Because you mentioned that I was the closest, I kind of want to backtrack and talk to the crew.
Okay.
So, guys, you may be seeing what I'm seeing. This great expanse.
Yeah.
Who's this guy?
What do you mean? Did you forget your line?
Hold on.
I see. I have eyes. I see things.
I want to point out, Dragonborn, that we may be onto something, and I'm focusing for once. Can you give me a little credit?
I walk forward.
Our destiny is clearly in front of us.
Up the
Let's
ramp?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
So this
over-
this sort of very headstrong paladin, remembering to pull her shield up out of the ground as the gravel sort of comes around it. The vodka still sort of dripping off,
I hold it up.
holding it up, drinking the drizzle that comes off of it. Starts making her way up the ramp.
Oh, I got a high constitution. I can take anything.
I'm gonna be like,
alcoholics right here.
I want to. Can I give the Dragonborn a little piece of my mind?
What does that
So-
mean?
So I'm gonna kind of just walk back into it. I'm like this, Dragonborn. At this point, I'm aware she's a paladin, correct?
Dilly, I mean, traditionally paladins would be identifiable just as a result of they would want to be identified as paladins.
Yeah,
Do you
I
feel-
look like a holy soldier. That's for sure. I wear my company's sigil on my arm, and it's in a holy fashion. It has the symbol of Bahamut on it, so it'd be easy. It'd probably be easy to recognize. Yeah.
So at this point, it's general knowledge, so I can just kind of go, "Hey, paladin," kind of deal, right?
I mean, you could do whatever you want.
Oh, right, fine. So I kind of walk up from behind. I'm just like, "Hey, paladin, listen," and I kind of try and like put my hands on her back to just kind of wheel on her arm, and I just kind of wheel around. I try. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. But I'm just kind of talking at her back or her face, and I'm just kind of like, "Who do you think you are? The last paladin that I knew of was the great Leonard Jenkins. And it just... You remember what happened to the third and fourth order of your order, presumably? They died. Leonard Jenkins died.
Oh, good. I don't have to make an NPC card for him then.
Yeah.
I saw you like looking for your stationery.
Who? What? What are you talking
The
about?
reason why you haven't heard of him is because he's dead. Died. Do you know how he died? Because he went headfirst into a cave full of black dragons. Never came out. Had a disgusting fixation with chicken.
What's wrong with black dragons?
So, are you making this up? Are you knowingly making this up?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great.
I would like for you to show a little bit more resilience. Maybe we could figure these things out a little bit more. I don't know what your problem is, but can we?
Well, how
I'm
do
a
you?
rogue, for crying out loud. Even I want to get along.
How would you expect to do that? What are you suggesting here? I'll listen. I like to listen.
Yeah. What the smart guy said.
You see,
Side intelligence.
I'm kind of like, I'm being pretty like Shakespearean about it. Do you not see the big, bright expanse here that looks a little strange? It's just, oh, here you go, just walk right in. We should be sneaky.
Why are you speaking this way? Are you okay? Is everything okay? Do you need a hand, little one?
You know, I mean, he's right. We're kind of walking in blind, but how bad can it be? Really, think about it. There's me. You know, I got somewhat of a beard. I'm a pretty decent fellow. He's shown to prove himself in a fight when he needs to, and you clearly, you know, you said your constitution's high. I believe you. You know, and Felix he's a smart guy.
Yes, in character, I said my constitution's high.
Yeah, the character you did. So, you know, our friend Felix, he broke the bottle. He was ready to cut somebody. I saw what he could do when his back's against the wall. I'm ready to fight. I think we can do it if we have to fight. I'm not saying we do. Violence is not always the answer. But if that's the correct question, then we have a good answer for it.
I don't mind gutting anything or anyone.
I mean, you ate people earlier, so clearly not.
Unconfirmed. don't raffle me. I'm saying we should all. And I kind of turn to Felix. I go, let's get the gnome's opinion about this because he has not gotten a chance to speak. And as far as I understand, since we're all friends here, we can ask for everyone's opinion. And I kind of give like a scowling kind of like up and down to Dragonborn, Mrs. I'm just going to go just barrel in there. I'm kind of like stink eye, like, right? Hopefully.
And Felix is kind of, in moments like this, he kind of tends to check in, check out, maybe start seeing some things, and
Butterflies.
kind of looking to like this like pathway, this entryway, and can't tell if he's like seeing clearly or if this is actually what's in front of him. But it's kind of like hedgerows leading up. It looks like plant matter on the walls and whatnot. Oh boy, oh dear. And he starts, looking up it's kind of like a stairwell. If you can see or remember correctly, reality is kind of blending in and out for him. Oh my goodness, there's more troll blossom up here. It's growing out of the walls. This is amazing. And he starts kind of like just proceeding forward, just looking at the specimens of troll blossom. I've never seen them quite grow like this. How do they grow without such insufficient sunlight? Oh dear, is there enough nitrogen in here for the? And he kind of he's just walking forward into this this next room,
So you're walking forward up, into the next room.
clumsily, unawarely.
So
Yeah.
while the three of you are talking, this is sort of what Felix is doing. Is just kind of wildly going around. His beard now a little bit, disheveled with a few twigs in it, having gone wild a little bit. Now sort of calming down and distracted by pretty things in the garden. You're sort of arguing, and then you realize, this gnome hasn't said anything for a while, and you look over and you see him stepping up onto the vines that head up into the next area. Felix, go ahead and roll an athletics check.
Oh,
Oh boy.
athletics check for walking.
You'll see.
For something.
Just checking.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, howdy! I seem to have rolled a 2. Plus,
Okay.
Oh boy.
Hold on,
Oh,
it's
boy.
2.
This is a lesson on inflection. Oh boy. Oh boy.
my.
Because you do have
so this is
you do have
athletics
proficiency
check?
in this.
So it is a total of 6 because I have proficiency in athletics. 2 plus 2 plus 2. Yep.
Okay. So so as you step out, the winds which had been picking up as you were coming in, you've spent, a little while in this sort of enclosed area which has shielded you from the wind effects, but now as you step out onto these roots, you no longer have the trees around you, so the winds are starting to whip up a little bit more. And as you're, about 15 feet up off the ground, because you're about halfway to the next area, just a gust of wind as you're sort of distracted takes you a little bit and lifts you up a little bit, and you lose your footing and your grip on the tree. And as you start to go over the edge, just a bit of your collar sort of catches on one of the vines, and you find yourself just sort of dangling 15 feet in the air by your collar that's onto this vine.
So
And
before
the
all
three
this-
of you absolutely see this. You see the
Yeah.
wind just kind of sort of sweep him off. You don't see him get caught, but you do see him get swept off.
So just to make a point, as this is probably happening, as the human is mouthing off to me, I grab him by the collar, and I say, "Hey, I've lived probably 3 of your lifetimes. I've been through countless battles, and I've done it all under the service of Bahamut and everything under him. I've been through more than you and your ancestors have ever dreamed of. If you question me again, I will throw you as far as I can."
And I kind of look down and I'm like, there's a small crack just above the rib cage of your armor. It doesn't take long for my sword to find it.
I highly
Now
doubt
let me
that.
go.
Excuse me.
I highly doubt that there's a crack in my armor.
Hello,
There is
guys.
a
And as
crack
you
in your
two
armor
are
and
sort
a
of-
gnome in peril.
Yes, as soon as you two are sort of
dear.
posturing, Felix goes off the edge, and Anam, you see this and get their attention.
Oh,
Sorry.
No.
so I go, and
Yeah.
you see this gnome walking up there, like with all the initiative. Oh, we should go get him.
Dragonborn, put me down.
I'm so
Like a
sorry.
dog.
I was saw Troll Blossom and I just couldn't help myself. I seem to be in a predicament. Help, please.
You're handling this awfully well, all things considered. Proud of you. You're learning.
So you're saying.
So as you're on the edge of the vine, sort of seeing Felix dangling there, you're sort of looking around and having seen him be lifted up too. It's not unusual for you to jump to the conclusion, oh, it was the wind. The wind blew him off. So you know it's
Right.
particularly windy, and you'll have to be cautious as you head out onto the vines.
Yeah. I snapped
Right.
to reality. Oh, there goes gravity.
Yeah.
I run over to kind of try to help him out.
Run out onto the vines.
Not quite onto the vines. I'm assuming I didn't see it necessarily, so I take a step forward to kind of assess it of what just happened.
Okay.
Obviously, you said I saw the wind. I would have known it was the wind, right?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
so you do feel the wind sort of battering against you as you sort of step out. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
Yeah. All right. 8.
So you're able to you're able to sort of buckle down. It's hard moving. It's pretty windy, so you're moving pretty slowly.
I would say if I knew it was the wind, I would have at least put a claw in the ground.
Yeah. You're moving your way along. You know, you're digging things into the ground. You know, whatever you've got to kind of move your way along. But
Okay.
it's
Cool.
it's blowing hard. You're kind of big. Your armor's catching the wind. It's blowing at you.
Okay.
So the rest of you sort of see Deli sort of start moving out. Are you going to let her go by herself, or do you want to attempt to go as well?
I look at Monk. I'm looking at you.
Oh, yes. What do you think we should do?
Well, so right now we can't. Is it confirmed that we cannot see? We cannot see Felix right now.
No, you
correct?
could absolutely see him. Yeah, you're
Okay.
standing on the edge of the vines. You could see him dangling.
Okay, and
There's like a vine in the back of his collar, just kind of holding him up.
Can I ask what's your attitude right now, Felix?
Hello? Anyone please help? A bit of a predicament over here.
okay.
So Felix is handling this actually pretty well.
I would say
He's kind
so.
of coming. He's actually in kind of a cathartic state after breaking glass against your shield, trying to protect himself in a life or death circumstance. Wild animals he recently encountered are back to get him. There's bickering. He's gone through a lot recently, but he's actually reached kind of a cathartic state where it feels like things can't get worse than this. So he's actually pretty at ease with what's going on. He just cannot summon more fear right now because he used so much so recently.
And you're dangling 15 feet off the ground, so you'd probably prefer not to fall, but you know it probably wouldn't be fatal if you did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And he doesn't recognize himself as like brave right now. He just is like, he's kind of resigned a little bit that this is not really in his control. But yeah,
I kind of like nudged the monk, and I'm like, all right, listen, Anam.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to say this right now, after we've clearly had a very intense conversation, we'll say we should back the stupid dragonborn up.
Yeah. I don't hold grudges. I evaluate
Alright.
all things in the present. And presently, right now, I can use some help.
All right. I'm definitely going because I'm assuming because of the wind is blowing. I'm going to take advantage of the fact that we have a wind block. I'm just going to kind of follow up behind the Dragonborn.
Okay.
And
I'll make
Uh,
some wind for you.
Man.
And Anam, you're going out onto the roots as well? Onto
Yes.
the root ramp?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'll
both of you go ahead and make an athletics check. As you sort of feel the wind blowing against the side of you.
and I get a whiff of something that smells like pancakes.
Oh boy.
We're all thinking
sorry.
it. He just said it, you know.
All right. I got a 12.
Okay.
And you said athletics?
Yes.
12 as well.
All right. So you're both, coming along behind Deli.
I'm a fine lady. I didn't actually break wind.
All right,
And all
great.
three of you sort of get to Felix now. As he's dangling
right.
there.
So who's gonna catch him?
Okay, he's dangling
Can I
from a
swipe?
height.
Yeah, so you're actually you're on the platform that he's been blown off of. So he's dangling off of the platform, and you're kind of looking down onto him,
Oh, okay, so
dangling.
he's below us.
He's within
Okay.
arm's reach.
All right.
Though.
I'd like to swipe at his collar.
Swipe at it, like grab it.
Yeah, like grab him, like swipe my
Okay.
hand and try to grab him
Not
up
like
and
with
pull
your
him up.
sword. You're not.
No.
Okay,
Like
okay.
like with one motion. Pull him
Cuts
up.
my head off and I
This has
die.
got it.
Thanks,
Uh,
guys.
And what is your strength? Your strength is decent.
17.
7. Yeah. You've got no problem doing that. You sort of grab him by his collar and ease him off the roots and just kind of lift him up and put him down right next to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you, Deli.
And he goes in and just kind of like hugs you tightly like your leg is a giant tree trunk. And just kind of cozily, innocently hugging your leg.
I put my fist out like a fist bump, and I just see him go straight for the leg. I'm like,
Bring him right here, little dude. Oh.
Oh.
And I kind of look at the monk and I go, I have this feeling like a bunny rabbit is jumping around in my insides, but I'm not too sure what this is.
You're sort of, by the way, now having to shout a little bit at each other because you're out on this vine where the wind is whipping a little bit.
I have bunny feelings in my stomach, and
Funny feelings? I'm sorry to hear that.
I think
It
he
must
said
be because
sunny.
you ate people.
I think he said sunny feelings.
Sunny
like he's
feelings.
bright.
fantastic. Oh,
Spamtastic? We don't have any spam.
I as I'm kind of like walking by, I just kind of look down at Felix, and I'm just like, I get right down. Good to have you back. Glad you didn't fall.
Good to be here. Thank you for.
Let us retreat to a quieter place.
What?
So as you're sort of clinging to these vines, Felix, having yelled earlier and in dangling, yelling for help, attracted not just you, but seems to have attracted something from the other side as well. And you glance over and spot a black bear on the top of the vine, sort of just looking down at you. He's just now spotted you. He just comes to the clearing and sees you.
Hello. No, that's well. I mean, there are worse things to say to a bear.
And he turns around and runs back inside.
Oh. We scared
Well,
him.
Well,
That was-
I,
we avoided a hairy situation.
true.
And I do a really cheesy laugh, kind of smile at them.
yeah.
I ignore the
Yeah.
comment.
So it's beginning to get substantially more difficult to brace yourself aboard the vines. So you feel as if it's going to have to be like a move forward, move backward sort of situation. Otherwise, your grip is a little bit starting not to feel as sure as it was.
Can I quickly take a look around to see if there's any type of clue as to a solution?
Could you be more specific?
Is there any type of I guess what exactly do we see? We just see a path.
Let's see. So as you're on this sort of vine ramp leading up into this second sort of bowl area, like the one you came from, you sort of see similarly to what you saw before, just sort of the wood flooring and the furniture. As you're a little bit closer, you could see like light coming that flickers like a candle light coming from inside. And you see like sort of some equipment inside. It looks like a living area inside.
Okay.
You also
What's the
see
distance?
right around the corner from where you're standing, there's a pedestal that it's hard to tell from a distance, but at least in terms of size and shape, it looks pretty similar to the marble pedestal that's on the other side of the platform.
Okay. So I look back at the guys and I'm like, we need to get to that. Do you guys feel comfortable going through this?
Did he just ask us, or did she just ask us if we were comfortable for once? The Constitution?
Just take it as a win, all right? Just take it as a win, and let's get out of the wind.
Okay, so I'm still kind of uncomfortable about just kind of barging in there, so I want to be somewhat prepared. So I take at least I have my swords on the ready. Like I want to be ready for anything, and I'm just kind of as stealthily but as quickly as possible. I'm an ingredient. Let's get out of there, and I'm walking. I'm beelining it.
Okay. There's nothing too super stealthily to sort of hide behind. On the vine ramp, you're sort of just in open sight. But as you get inside, you can sort of like try to stay into the shadows and stay behind furniture as best you can. Sure, yeah. And the rest of you, are you going to go in as well?
Yeah, I'd like to. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's the play.
Let me see. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I follow behind, kind of wary that I kind of aware that I could have taken a big fall there, but also kind of proud of myself that I didn't, or Felix is proud of himself that he wasn't full of fear when it happened. So he's kind of has some extra resolve about himself in this moment, but he still is also kind of aware that he probably shouldn't be leading right now into this room, especially with that big bear.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I have my sword out, but I probably have my shield in my hand. I was probably using it to stay steady.
You know what? I will say this. Felix, take an inspiration die.
Okay.
Have we talked about what that is?
An inspiration die?
Yeah. So it's something that you could mark on your character sheet. There's a box that says inspiration. It's a resource that can be given that allows you to, on any future roll that you have to do just this one time, you get advantage on it. So you get to roll 2 dice and take the highest.
Okay.
For the resolve that you've gotten, the sense of pride and boldness that you've gotten from this experience.
Okay.
Can
Do I roll?
manifest itself in a future roll.
So he's not saying use it now. He's saying that.
Yeah, not use it now, but when there's a
inspired.
roll that comes
Oh,
up
okay.
at
So it's like
any
a resource
point
I
in
can
the
tap
future,
into.
you can
Yeah,
use
it's like
that.
you got a special trinket, and you're like, oh, I can use this later.
Yeah, a
it's
one-time use sort of.
One-time
bonus.
use. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. The trick is you have to call it before you roll.
Right.
Okay.
All right, so the 4 of you kind of step forward, and you see now that you're more in the room, this sort of round area that you're standing in is bisected by this wall with a door that's just open. There's not a door, it's just an open way on the other side. And in the room you're in is this sort of long dining table with a number of chairs around it. Some of them seem to be sort of damaged and in sort of bad repair. One of them is sort of tipped over. The place doesn't seem clean. It looks very well made, but it looks maybe not quite tended to. There's a fireplace on the other side that's completely off, but the area that you're in sort of looks like a living dining area. And then, like I mentioned, there's a door on the far side. And also right next to you, as I mentioned too, is that white pedestal.
Has it become quieter? Like, have we been out of the wind noise?
Yeah,
yet?
now that you've gotten in from the wind, the sound, it's more of a conversational volume again.
Okay. Oh, so we can hear things. Right?
Yeah, you could hear inside. And there doesn't seem to be anything you could hear.
Okay.
No.
I'd like to inspect the pedestal.
Okay. You don't speak Elvish, do you?
No. But do I see Elvish writing again?
Yeah, you see the Elvish writing on it.
All right. And so I take a gulp and I look down and I sigh. All right. Shirvanda, was it?
That's right. Hello.
I apologize.
Sorry.
So I kind of get taken back, and I'm like, "You apologize?"
I'm not going to say it again. Can you read this, please?
And I just kind of
paladin has lived 3 generations of my family and can't read Elvish. Sorry, go on.
And I see.
I'm kind of like, I kind of like look down, and I kind of look at it. I kind of look at the Dragonborn. I'm like, somehow I don't think you really mean that. You just want me to read the Elvish. However, and then I just kind of let my voice kind of trail off. I kind of nod, and I just kind of cruise on over, and I kind of look. I'm like, excuse me, you are blocking the way. Dragonborn.
You're pushing it, and I move.
And I kind of side smirk, and I look down at the script, and I read it. Hopefully, did you want me to roll to see my
No. So it says, as the other one did, May Trif Cathode. You're saying that aloud?
Yes.
So as you say it, sort of very quietly again, just as before, just in reverse, the vines sort of unclench from each other and sort of pull back and roll under, and the trees sort of close back. And as you see, like, the trees sort of closing on your side, you see also on the other side the trees sort of closing as well. And you do notice, because you left one of the wolves sitting near the pedestal, so as those trees are going, you kind of peek in and you notice the wolves are gone. And then the tree on your side closes as well. And now you're closed into this room, essentially. The light dims a little bit as it closes. Now you're just sort of lit by lamplight. The trees that are surrounding are very, very close together, so they're not even letting light in.
I think we go back to the other way, right? We're just stuck in here now?
Well, I can try saying the words again.
Felix begins. Oh, sorry.
I was asking Brian, there's no way out of this room now?
Not that you could see from here. I mean, there's the door on the other side of the room that you're in.
Oh, all right. Okay. Well, go ahead.
Felix begins looking around, looking at the walls, kind of not really aware that they're closed in, so it's not really creating any panic for him because he's just not aware that they're closed in right now. Looking at the walls, touching the furniture, noticing the dust. Hello, housekeeping's here. We brought gifts. And he pulls out the half-drinking bottle of swill, acrid whiskey, places it on the nearest surface. Just kind of announcing outwards, kind of not like tauntingly, not taunting the cleanliness of the place at all. Just like,
Yeah.
trying to see, like, is anyone out there? Kind of a echo.
So
And-
you see from that far door the front of the black bear that you saw earlier sort of emerge again, and behind him, sort of touching the side of the bear on his haunch, sort of like being led by him almost out, is this sort of middle-aged human man, and he's holding out this rod that from far away just kind of looks like a gnarled branch that you see sort of throw off a blue spark that kind of flows off into the air and then kind of hangs there and then sort of drops like a jelly onto the floor and then disappears. And he's sort of holding this out to you, saying, "What are you doing here? What do you want?"
That's the wand, isn't it?
Are you asking him?
Well, sure. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm asking him.
You say, "Is that the wand?"
And
Yeah, I'll say. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, is that what you say? Yeah,
He
really?
says, "What are you talking about?"
wand of.
he's talking. Can I interrupt you? And I just go,
Yes.
he meant Wanda. Is that Wanda, the bear, the well-known bear from the circus down the lane?
Roll deception.
Oh my god, dude. We are a bunch of clowns. This is awesome.
20.
Such clowns.
All right.
So, he seems confused at this point and just sort of keeps holding the wand out, sort of like looking back and forth at each of you, and are like, "You've come into my home looking for a talking bear?"
I'm sorry. No,
I'm just
it's
kind
rude of us to not knock.
Hello, we're here on the behalf of currently known as Shine Bright. We're looking for
And his
an
eyes
artif-
sort of widen for a second. "You found Shinebright?
Well, we
Did you bring Shinebright to me?"
Well,
No.
currently trying to retrieve something for Shine Bright. We bring gifts. We're here, and it's very nice to meet you. We apologize. We couldn't quite find a door to knock on because there's so many vines. Clearly, your postal service worker has an issue with this as well. Other delivery people, yes. This can't be the first time this has happened.
I kind of.
Breaking out into a sweat, starting to get faster.
And
Felix realizes he's going to talk his way out of this so fast.
he
I hear
calls out
Brian
really
shut
quickly, "May Traf Cathode," and the door behind you again opens and the vines sort of spiral down. And he shouts, "Guards, come in here now!"
Oh boy. So okay. How do we talk our way out of this?
Are you asking him that?
No, I'm not asking him. I want to, but I'm not going to.
I'm at this point. I just want to fall on my own swords. what I just saw, right? The whole Wanda thing just explodes in my mind. I'm like, well, there goes that idea, right? Like,
Hey, it
my
worked.
cringes, and I'm just like, I'm trying to find like some sort of inner peace, because I'm like thinking, I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm like, all right, this is me talking to myself. Okay, he just called. Okay, he just called for guards. There's a lot. This is going to be a horrible situation, Shervonda. You need to find your focus and make sure, A, don't spill blood if you don't have to, because you're a smooth talker. Your parents taught you well, as much as you can learn until you ran away. You can do this. Just stay calm.
What's he doing?
I'm just like, I look like I'm trying to go Super Saiyan because I'm like so angry. At the same time, I'm
He's having a
So those are
Scrubs
like your
JD
inner
moment
thoughts?
there.
yeah,
Those are your
exactly.
thoughts? Okay. That's
And
awesome.
then as you
We're-
all
we're
sort
just-
of
we're just seeing him do
feel
this.
unfrozen from this moment of time where it sort of feels like, even though a second has passed, that really there were minutes in there. Sort of unfreeze again.
I poke him. Are you okay?
So this man is still holding the wand out towards you, sort of easing his bear forward a little bit, who seems to be looking forward. He's looking over at his vines, sort of waiting for his guards to come up.
So I'm like, hey, I'm here to keep the peace. We found someone who sent us here. We don't want any trouble.
You found Shinebright, you said.
Yes.
There won't be any trouble. Give me Shinebright, and you can leave.
No. Give us the wand, and we leave, and your house will be intact. Trust us. We, basically ruined an inn right down the road. You don't want to see what we can do when we're really pissed off. Trust me, this gnome, he's got some stuff, all right? He's seen it. He's seen it all, okay?
And I'm backing him up, and I'm going to be like, absolutely. This gnome, do you know who this gnome is? He is Magmar, the dangerous dragon slayer of the north. Have you heard of him? You want to know why you haven't heard of him? Because everyone who has heard of him up until this point is now dead.
And the man
I'm
sort
looking.
of waves
I'm
his
looking
hands.
at the wizard and just going.
And the man is just sort of waving his hands and saying, listen, I don't care if you were able to fell one tavern wench at some tavern. You'll find that I'm not going to go down quite as easily. Return Shinebright to me, and you can live.
From what I know, is you've been doing some unlawful things. I don't want to hurt you.
I've been
don't-
doing
Just kind of-
nothing unlawful. Who told you that?
I've been led to believe that you have been, what's the word? Polymorphic,
And I just
polydating. I don't.
morph.
You
Polymorphing
turned
people.
Shinebright into a horse, and you want him back. That's kind of rude. Shinebright doesn't want to be no horse.
That's illegal. I have to take you in.
And he sort of straightens up now, knowing that the full gravity of what the story is unfolded to you. And he sort of pauses and thinks for a moment and says, if you have Shinebright, you must have seen my man Guz.
Oh
Guz?
yeah, Guz is. It's a shame. He met an unfortunate end.
You
He
killed
said he
Guz?
quit. No, he
Yeah.
quit. Well, fudge.
Yeah, well,
Guz would not have quit.
we
If you
did
have
kill Guz, right?
Shinebright and you saw Guz, there's no way he would have let you live. I assume
we
you killed
did.
him then?
I
Nobody
suppose we did.
lets me live.
And he sort of pauses for a moment and sort of looks away and seems sort of genuinely affected by it, and gathers his resolve for a moment and sort of looks back over at the ramp that's behind you where the guards should be coming out and calls out one more time, "Guards, hurry up!" And then looks back at you and says, "All right, I don't know what he's been telling you, but he has no right to have treated me the way he did. Return him to me, and I could forget about this, and you can leave."
Hold on. How did he treat you? What?
I've been that man's apprentice since I was 12 years old. When he took me in, I was washing his bottles for him in a cold basin with no water to heat up. Just me and my hands in the cold basin washing his bottles. And then 10 years went by. I'm still washing the bottles. Another 10 years goes by. I'm still washing the bottles. I go to him and I say, "Master, teach me. Let me heat up the water for myself." And you know what he tells me? That I'm not ready. He's an elf. He doesn't understand like you guys do, like I do. We don't live to be 1,000 years old like he does. I can't wash bottles for 100 years. I need to learn something. And he kind of
Okay.
looks at the wand and kind of holds it out again, and he says, and now I have learned things. Now I've learned plenty of things.
But at what cost? Do you think this is a way to solve your problems?
I certainly wouldn't have gotten anywhere rotting away as some elf's apprentice for the rest of my life.
Yeah, and now we're about to kill you if you don't give the wand back. Think about it. This is not a good path.
Can I?
And he sort of
I'm-
sneers and says, kill me. Guards! A little bit more desperately this time.
Why are your guard? Where are your guards? I don't.
So, this story resonates with Felix in a way where he didn't think it would have before. One sec. He's listening to what is the person's name again? One more time. Sorry.
Technically, he hasn't said his name yet, but given the context of the situation, you could be
Ahmed.
pretty sure that he's the apprentice, Ahmed Nook.
Your story resonates with me. I too have felt powerless for a very long time, directionless, even held captive. Perhaps you by your master and I by nature. I have been looking for something else to drive me. I can relate. How can we help you while also not harming Shinebright and doing right by her? Let's negotiate.
I don't mistreat Shinebright. I treat him fine.
This is a horse!
But enslaving the master does not make you greater. It does not help you learn, and it doesn't help further your cause. Clearly, you've underestimated your associates, and you're underestimating us. And you're underestimating Shinebright, or else, if you were capable, she would have been long gone by now. You're not as strong as you think. Come forth and let's negotiate.
And he sort of pauses for a moment and sort of seems to be nudging the bear forward towards you. And the bear, you know, does look kind of just straight on at you guys and sort of sneers and growls and sort of steps forward. And Noak is still sort of holding the wand toward you. He's thinking, but he's absolutely not backing down just yet.
Guys, I do not want to be turned into a squirrel or whatever. If that's the whatever that thing is, I don't want to have anything to do with it. We've got to do something. I'm kind of talking, like leaning back to them, kind of like trying to get like put bugs in their ears kind of deal. Guys.
Can I attempt to hold the conversation with him and approach slowly, maybe while distracting him with my conversation, so he doesn't know.
I like to slip the sword out while
sure.
he's doing that.
So how would you say you're approaching? Are you approaching in sort of a friendly way or more of an intimidating sort of way?
Sort of a little bit of both, as in like I'm explaining I'm not here to hurt you. I don't want to do anything that will cause a mess of your home here. I don't at all want to have any of us hurt either. I want to talk about things. Let's sit down. Let's figure it all out. If you are innocent, then we will be on our way and we'll return whatever it is. We'll make things right. But you and I have to cooperate. You and I have to get through this together. And trust me, I've seen your position. I've seen where you come from. And I wouldn't want that for anybody I care about either. And sort of just, ranting about, telling a story about like, hey, everything's going to be just A-okay. Sort of like a police officer would do to like someone holding a hostage.
Okay. Yes.
I have dirty idea, right? That's awesome. I kind of lean down to Felix and I'm like, as you know, unobvious.
So let me interrupt you. Is this going to relate to Deli's sort of persuasion action here?
Can I do it while he's doing it?
Yeah, so it's going to be like a separate thing that you're doing simultaneously.
It's
Yes,
gonna be.
that's
I'm
fine.
trying to
So-
ascertain.
So let me go ahead and resolve the persuasion here, and then we'll definitely come to that. Perfect. So go ahead and roll persuasion, Deli.
Come on, big money, big money. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. 5 plus 3, 8.
Okay. So as you're stepping forward, sort of making this plea to him, Charvanda.
Felix, remember the fire you made not too long ago?
Yes. I remember there being a fire. I don't remember. I'm not guilty of arson, if that's what you're implying.
I just kind of do one of these. I'm like, can you make another one?
Once again, I'm not sure what you mean. I really am not guilty of arson. I do remember a fire, and we tried contacting local authorities afterwards, right? Or I think that's what we did. I
So-
remember the fire, though. I do.
I just kind of look like a little exasperated. I'm like, I kind of point very subtly to the ball of alcohol. I'm like, forget about can you make a fire? Can we? You get what I'm getting at?
Malicious. Charvanda, we're in the middle of negotiations here. Arson doesn't solve this problem.
It gets us out of the situation.
Felix isn't really aware that
So-
he started a fire.
Yeah.
He,
So, so as you're having this conversation, you know,
Mm-hmm.
Felix just doesn't seem to be getting what you're driving at, and you know, Deli's still sort of stepping forward, and as you're speaking to him, Deli, he sort of like thinks for a moment and then notices you stepping forward and sort of points the wand at you and kind of nudges the bear in your direction, who sort of looks over at you, and he says, stop where you are right now.
Stop. I stop.
All right. And then he sort of like points the wand back and forth at you, and then points it at you, Anam, and says, and you, how would you feel if your masters didn't teach you anything for 40 years?
Well, I guarded ancient ruins for 40 years with very minimal human contact until I finally decided I was done with it. And here I am now. I was in your same shoes. I did a meaningless task for way too long and lost years of my life I'll never get back, but I'd rather not waste them causing problems and instead taking a more productive approach to the situation.
I'm not
I walked
causing
a-
problems. I did exactly what you did. I took a proactive approach, too. I took
Yeah.
over this laboratory. I still carry on Shine Bright's work. I do research.
I walked away from ruins. There was nobody there. I didn't hurt anyone. At most, I inconvenienced people who thought that these ruins really meant something. When really, I mean, they're just sitting there. To me,
And
you
he's-
know.
No.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
He sort of scoffs and says, I've not hurt anyone.
Well,
Felix-
you've really distressed the horse outside. It's not a horse. He's not outside. He is outside, but he's
And
the horse is upset. Okay, you hurt his feelings.
okay. He
well, you're thinking, Brian, may I?
please.
So Felix, his resolve from what felt like a lifetime ago of him almost falling, a vine catching him, felt like so long ago. He's in the situation. He realized he's enclosed in. The negotiations aren't going well. It feels like everyone's got a proverbial gun to their heads. Charvanda is telling me to burn the place down. Asking for guards to come in, or this person's asking for guards to come in. They're not quite here yet. There's a bear near. Felix is feeling that his back is to the wall. He starts kind of looking around, and he can't hear so well. He's kind of getting this fight or flight response starting to go, but it's more than that. There's kind of can feel it coursing through his veins. This kind of, he feels his hands clenching together. He can't. He can control it, but he feel like he can't. Like this feeling he's never really felt before. Almost like he read this in a dictionary once called hatred. His hatred starting to course through him. His everything is starting to become darker yet brighter, less clear but much more clear. The idea of burning the place down, although it sounded kind of bad a moment ago, he's starting to understand this place would be better if it was burnt down. But at the same time, it's like his first kind of feeling. He's not just going to act on it. He's not going to do that, but he can't believe he's thinking this way. He's not saying any of this out loud to anybody, but he's looking around with kind of malevolent eyes and not seeing his friends as much anymore. And this person in front of him is simply, this person who's bantering and has a bear just as a nuisance, someone in his way.
Has anything caught fire yet, or are you just looking?
Nothing's caught fire.
Okay.
He likes the idea more now, but he's not going to burn the place down now. That's just his kind of thought process in the moment, and that he's
having dark thoughts.
He's having really dark thoughts, and he's seeing things as he feels clearly, but not so clearly because he's never felt this way before.
The path to the dark side is
So,
good.
so Noak is sort of still holding the wand forward, and he says, "Listen, I've gone too far to turn back now. I can't just turn myself in. So, return Shine Bright to me, and leave, and forget that you saw me here, and we'll have no problems."
How close do you think I got with my stepping forward?
At this point, the room that you're in is about 30 feet long, and you've probably closed in about 15 feet. So I'd say you're about 10 feet away from the bear now.
Okay, from the
Not
bear.
quite in stabbing distance, but definitely within lunging distance.
Oh, what about him?
He's behind the bear.
He's
so
right behind it.
About
Okay.
15 feet from him.
I wouldn't see like a clear lunging shot to him, would I?
To him,
It would seem pretty dangerous to me.
yeah, I mean, you'd have to sort of leap over the bear.
Sure.
Which you could do, but it's a bear, so, your mileage may vary on that.
Right.
Um,
I sort of look back at the group and give like a look to everybody.
And I kind of look back, and I at this point, I feel like I kind of pick up on the tell, like, all right, is it gut check time? Let's see what is it. Is it time to go? And I just kind of go. I just do
to kill.
I do a very a nod. I just nod, like, yeah. And I already have my hands very, like, pretty much, Western style on my swords. Yeah, I'm feeling it.
all right. So at this point, as people are starting to take aggressive actions, let's go ahead and roll for initiative.
$19.
4.
17.
3.
So before we go into the battle,
Sorry, did
Felix-
you say 19, Shervonta?
I did.
All right. And sorry, Felix, one more time your initiative.
Sure. Oh, my initiative is 4.
4, okay.
So Felix's situation is beginning to devolve pretty rapidly. He's not just feeling, dark thoughts and feeling the first signs of hatred. He's also, although not panicking, what maybe something might have symptoms of like a panic attack. Like he's starting to disassociate. He is hyperventilating. He's not really handling this well. But he's not like panicking. He's not fleeing. He's just starting to disassociate a bit from the others and from reality a bit in a way. He's hearing his own words reverberate as he speaks them out loud, but he's not actually saying anything. He's just thinking. So he thinks his thoughts are words. His words are reverberating. It's not a sanity, not kind of a. He's starting to question his sanity a little bit, but he's panicking and disassociating from reality a bit right now.
All right. Yeah, it's a panicky moment. I mean, you're looking at a black bear. I don't
Yeah.
think that ever feels good, especially in an enclosed space.
It might be also explaining his low reaction speed right now, his initiative. He's just not really
Yes.
very present.
Little flat-footed, not expecting it. Yeah. Sharvanda, so you get the first action here. So you're seeing Deli kind of look back and giving you the nod, and you're at the ready. You're sort of back in the doorway still.
I definitely think the first thing I want to do, the most dangerous thing I can see off the top of my head is I see this wand, which I'm not too sure what it's capable of, but I know that as much as I want to take out the bear, I'm trusting my monk and my my paladin friend to take care of the bear. So do I have a clear shot of the wizard?
At Noke, you do, yeah. He's
Okay.
he's partially behind the bear, so he will get a little bit of a cover bonus for being behind the bear, because he's harder to hit as a result. But you could still hit him, yeah.
Okay, and I can't do a sneak attack, correct? I have to be close to do that, correct?
You would need someone. You would either need someone within melee range of Noke, which no one is, or he would need to be unaware of you. So if you were to like spend a round like hiding or something.
Okay, so how about I'm gonna fire an arrow. I'm gonna try and like at least incapacitate him, if not like he's pointing a wand. I want to hit the most meteor area I can to prevent him from waving that wand around. I want to incapacitate him.
Okay. All right. So
For
you go ahead and pull your bow back, sort of taking aim, and go ahead and make an attack roll.
16 plus 4.
That will hit.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and roll your damage as well.
6.
6.
Mm-hmm.
So your arrow kind of, whoops, I healed him 6. Your arrow kind of screams through the air and just sort of catches him right in the right pectoral where he's sort of holding his wand out, and he sort of like, sort of staggers back a little bit, and or sort of seems surprised. It seems like he's never really sort of experienced that sort of sensation before.
Mm-hmm.
Anam,
Bullseye.
this arrow has just screamed out from behind you and struck Noke in the chest.
Oh boy. Well, I mean, Noke is clearly green. You know, he's not been in these kinds of situations before. He's not a fighter. He wants to be, but he's not. So, you know, doubling down and causing him more injury might be kind of counterproductive. And I don't want to I'm sure the bear is going to do some sort of damage to my friend Deli, because, you know, defend the master and all that. So maybe, maybe just try and like I don't want to concuss the bear, do I? I don't want to like give it permanent damage, but I want to like disorient it a little. Can I like hit it with my quarterstaff in a way that doesn't cause permanent damage but like confuses it?
So
It won't
compassionate.
necessarily confuse it. You could deal what's called non-lethal damage, so you're dealing damage with the attempt to try to knock someone out instead of kill them. And as long as you're using a weapon you're proficient in, you're able to do that. And you're proficient in your quarterstaff. So yes, you can hit him with the attempt of not like bash his skull, but just like dizzy him.
Yeah. I want to
Yeah.
do that with the quarterstaff.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll. Then you'll have to step forward to the bear.
Yeah, that's fair. All right.
So there's a little bit of furniture in the room you're in, so you're having to like, weave a little bit around the chairs and stuff.
Putting that 16 dexterity to use.
While you're rolling, I just want to say, Casey, I love the angle of empathy you're going with the monk. Like that's really, really cool. Like adds a lot of depth. I really like what you're doing.
Yeah, I appreciate it. All right, so 10 plus 5, 15.
15 is what you rolled,
Yeah.
and you're hitting the bear.
Yeah.
So that will hit.
All right. Damage is 8.
All right, so you kind of just like bring the staff back, and you're aiming for its head.
Yes, but I don't want to bash it in.
Right. So you kind of just like hit it at a spot is reasonably likely to probably just like disorient it for a little while, make it lose vision for a little while, and you just whack it pretty hard on the back of the head, leaving like a thud that sort of resounds through the area. It's not airtight, so it doesn't echo, but it does fill the room.
Yeah.
All right. You have a little bit more movement on your turn if you wanted to use any movement. I think you muted yourself.
Oath of silence. It happens every now and again. Get my distance from the bear.
Unfortunately, if you move away from the bear, it will provoke an attack of opportunity. So the bear will be able to make a free attack on you. You can still do it if you want the distance, but it will get a free attack on you.
I just stand my ground.
All right. So you sort of whack it and then sort of look at it to see what happens. Noak, sort of like a little bit staggered and distracted by the arrow that he's sort of like looking in his shoulder and sort of seeing the blood sort of seep into the robes that he's wearing, looks a little like worried by it. And he rubs the side of his bear and sort of speaks these low words underneath his breath. And the bear suddenly begins to grow in size, becoming a little bit more massive, a little bit taller. Its muscles seem to grow a little bit. Its teeth grow a little bit. Its eyes growing a little bit. Just the whole thing just enlarging. And then he turns away and backs up.
It's becoming Machoke.
I actually have you in reversed spots. Let me fix this real quick. But yeah, he backs up toward what you see in the back on the other side of the room. Is like, it looks like it's like just around the corner, so you can't really see where it leads, but you see what looks like another vine ramp sort of heading up to a third platform, and he's backing up onto that. So there, you guys are correct now. All right. And the bear, now having enlarged, steps forward to you, Anam, who just hit him in the head, and he takes a he'll take one swipe at you with his claw first. 19. I imagine
That'll
that hits
hit.
your AC.
Yeah.
It does.
Yes.
All right. So he will do. Where's the D6? He will do 6 damage.
Ow!
So the slash just kind of catches you, hitting that same old wound that panther hit earlier today.
Oh, God.
It's like just hits you right in the chest, and that wound just kind of opens up again. And then while you're staggered back, the bear kind of leaps forward with a bite as well, sort of targeting your midsection. And misses. This is bad. All right. Felix. You've seen your party members sort of step forward, one now just catching a swipe across the stomach and narrowly being able to back out of the way as his consciousness just catches him on the last moment, this sort of monk training taking over, and he's able to dodge out of the way through pure instinct.
Felix still in a state of he's in another realm in this moment, but something else is happening. He drops to one knee, staring at the ground. He slowly looks up at the adventurers around him. His pupils are now occupying the entirety of his eyes, nothing but black. "Hello, everyone. It is so nice to meet you," he says. "It is me, Felix." "Oh, you don't believe me? We've got some smart ones here." Anywho, I hate to say hello and leave, but we shall meet again soon. And Felix kind of collapses, but he kind of catches himself. Oh my, I must have phased out there for a moment. I daydream, among other things. And he's in this kind of moment, is spending his entire turn with this transformation that seems to be occurring, this announcement of the netherworld that someone else is in there, something else is going on. And he passes his turn.
All right.
I'm just,
A sort of deafening silence falls over the room that you're in. Definitely everybody hears that, right?
yes.
Sort of everybody hears that, including the bear, and sort of the silence of the sound of battle sort of pauses for a moment immediately afterward before beginning up again. Deli, you are now forward up. Well, actually, Anam has stepped forward in front of you and whacked the bear on the head. You've seen this sort of swipe taken at him, but you're in range now with your sword right up against the bear. Noke has backed up quite a bit of ways now.
Yeah. So does he appear to be fleeing?
Noke?
Yeah.
He's running up a vine, so he's running deeper into the house.
Okay. But we can't. I can't see like an
You
exit
can't
back
see
there.
exactly where he's going. He's sort of
Okay.
like run up just a little bit out of sight.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna lunge forward and I mean, let me know if I can do this, but I'd like to lunge forward and sort of put my entire body like almost airborne and lunge like at him, like I'm almost attempting to stab the black bear.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
So
go
basically
for
putting
it.
my everything into it.
Yeah, go ahead and make an attack roll for it.
Let's see. Should I attack with my sword?
Yes, yeah. It's
Okay.
the sword you're coming with, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I rolled a 18 plus 5. So
Okay.
13 or 23, sorry.
That will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. Oh no, I didn't bring up my D10. Let's roll this. Let's see, that'd be 12.
Okay. So, yeah, you sort of fly through the air at the bear and sort of stick your sword. You're aiming to stab it with the sword, I'm assuming?
Yeah, so I'm attempting to get this bear sort of out of the doorway
Okay.
while attempting to damage it at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah. So you kind of come at it, your arm sort of swinging wide and plunging your sword into its side. And as your weight sort of hits it, you both sort of tumble to the ground. You sort of maneuver yourself around the bear as it's falling, so you fall on top of the bear, sort of mounting it on the ground with your sword plunged deep in it. And it's just like the wound from the sword is just horrible. The bear seems not to have like lost its life just yet, but it looks severely damaged at this point. But you are now down onto the ground on top of it.
Did that clear up the doorway at all?
Yeah, you kind of rolled it out of the way of the doorway, so now people could get by it. And
Okay.
it's grappled down, so it doesn't get opportunity attacks either. Attacks of
Okay.
opportunity. So you'd be able to get by.
Cool.
Sharvanda, you are up. So
Okay.
now Deli has just you let that arrow fly, and Noke has kind of fled away after taking the shot, and then Deli has just kind of come forward and wrestled this bear to the ground.
Okay. First of all, I want to react to what the dialogue I just heard from Felix.
Okay.
I just smirk. I just like, it's a smirk that for the significance is I'm very intrigued from what I've said before was you are special, gnome. I kind of already had like a little, I liked him. He had moxie, and now this happened where I hear this very different voice erupt from him, and I smile at the thought, and I see the wizard trying to get away. Do I have a clear shot to
Not
hit
on
him
the
with
wizard
another?
from where you're standing. No.
Could
You
I?
could.
Could I relocate and get
Yeah,
it?
absolutely. You could. The doorway is free of the bear now, so I should move it from the doorway. The doorway is free of the bear now, so you would be able to sneak by them. And, I mean, you don't see the wizard anymore, so you're not sure if you'd be able to get a shot, but you could definitely pursue through the door and see if you could get a shot on him.
Too risky. Okay.
Okay.
So here's what I'll do. I will probably go through, but I want to sneak by, and I want to pursue him, but I want to be very stealthy about it because I don't want to just jump out of there. I don't know what he's capable of, but I
Okay.
want to pursue. I want to see if I can find him.
Okay. So if you would like to go into stealth, I would say that's probably your action. So you could move in and sort of be stealthy and make sure you're getting into that room and then hiding behind something and not letting him like fire off a spell or something at you as he walks in.
Okay,
Right.
exactly.
All I imagine is twinkle toes, just
Exactly. As,
So you
as you
kind
guys
of-
are.
You kind of seen Anam on one side of the door and Deli on top of the bear on the other side of the door. You're able to kind of sneak in between them and get to the other side of the room. And there's some, benches and a table and some chairs around it, and you're kind of sneaking behind it. And you do see Noak sort of heading up into this other smaller circular room that you see on the third level of the building. It's about 15 feet in diameter, but it's got a similar vine ramp leading up to it.
yeah. Don't worry. I'll hold this massively strong bear to the ground as long as I possibly can.
Anam.
Nice.
Oh boy. I'm not feeling too hot, you know. Ripping open old wounds, literally.
You beat me to it. You beat me to it.
Yeah, metaphorically, literally.
I mean, I feel like Deli has the bear situation under control. I don't know how Felix is doing. He's got his own inner demons, also literally. Keep with the theme here.
Opening old wounds, fighting inner demons.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just not feeling too good. Sharvand has kind of done what I think is the play. Just, not present yourself to danger, but making as much of an advancement as you can.
You could pursue behind and try to be stealthy if you'd like.
I guess that is the play, I think. I
Okay.
don't want to barge in there and blow his cover.
Okay. So you sort of like, as Sharvanda sort of moves around you and you see him move in and not immediately take a blast of anything sort of dangerous. So you sort of come in behind as well and you're able to find coverage sort of behind a table. The room is a bit dark, but you could see Noak also heading up the ramp as he goes.
Okay.
He seems to be like holding out the wand in front of him, sort of moving pretty frantically. All right, so Noak then finishes his way up the ramp, makes it into his bedroom, and you can't... Actually, Sharvanda, from where you're standing, you would probably be able to see this. From where he is, he's sort of pointing his wand at the bed and chanting. And the black bear is going to attempt to try to, like, buck you off, Deli. But being, really, really wounded as it is, just kind of like, tries to push you off and is unable to break your grapple. You're able to just kind of hold him down and prevent him from escaping.
Sweet.
Felix, you've seen two of your compatriots go into the next room. Deli still holding down the bear.
So is this bear still a threat or is it subdued?
It's still well, you can't really tell if it's fighting back or if it's just trying to get wrestled down, but it's not given up. It doesn't seem.
And I can't see Knock. I'd have to.
Not right now, no. You'd have to move through the doorway.
Could I move and then act? Can I see him then, or is that too far?
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to move in stealthily. You would just kind of have to barge in.
Yeah. So the other two use their main action as a stealth action.
Yeah.
But like Brian said, I've cleared it so that you wouldn't get attacked by the bear. At least the only thing is the only fear is Noke.
Right. But you've seen your compatriots move through and they haven't been attacked yet. So you do have that information.
Okay. So Felix is going to attempt to move as close as possible to Noke while still being able to act. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is that okay? So Felix arises kind of from his calamity that he's gone through, kind of aware that what's going on. There's like a mystery, obviously there's a mystery of himself, finding himself, something else, layers. And he's starting to realize that he is a part of this greater picture. That fire that occurred maybe was from him, the voices that came out that everyone could hear, this kind of terror that's in the room. It might have come from him, but he's still a little dislocated from it, but he's now feeling that something really has changed at this moment. So he kind of stumbles, gets up, just pushes through the door, no conscious of being stealthy or any kind of just walking like a menace would be walking behind their prey, not really caring for anyone that can see them, just not stealthily, just moving straight towards Nook. Do I have to roll for movement at all?
No.
Okay.
You've walked into the room now.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's fine. You've walked with
Felix-
flavor into the room.
Maybe with like Pantera's cowboys, playing
Yeah.
behind you. Yeah.
He's moving like an
would
unstoppable
maybe be
force,
some rolling.
walking into the next room, but not hurriedly. Just like nothing's gonna stop him right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he feels a force of will kind of coursing through his body, collecting at the front of his face. The sensation would be similar to like getting punched in the face or like water rushing through your nose. A spiritual kind of reckoning projecting out of his face. He's casting Eldritch Blast at Noke.
Okay.
So this is a D10 plus 4, I guess.
Yes. Do you have to make an attack roll on that? I believe you have to make an attack roll.
You have to
right?
read the spell. Spells
Yeah.
are different. Sometimes it's just a direct hit, but sometimes it's
I
not.
believe this blast has to be a hit because I have
Yeah.
a +4 for you. So it would be a D20 and you have a +4 to hit the AC. Which would probably be
plus
your
4 to hit the AC.
What's that?
D20 plus 4 to hit.
Hit the AC, yeah. So you're making an attack the same way you would be making a melee attack. You're just kind of doing it with that beam, trying
Okay.
to target it.
I rolled a 19.
Okay. So then to that you would add your charisma modifier and your proficiency bonus, which is enough to hit. So go ahead and roll damage on that now.
And that was a D10 plus 4? Or...
I think it's just a D10.
I don't have a D10. One sec.
You could also do a D20 and have it. That would work as well.
That makes sense, yeah. 14, so 7.
Okay.
And that plus 4, 11.
Well,
So this just beam of did you say black energy?
It's just, it's like spiritual, like dark energy just kind of coming out of the orifices in his face, projecting forward.
Yeah, this just sort of dark light just comes forward out of Felix's face and just strikes Noke right in the back, kind of, hitting him suddenly. And you see the force just kind of hit into his body and just kind of like seep in through his robes and leave this sort of like a torn open mark sort of in the back where it has struck him.
Yeah, we're not friends anymore, by the way.
That's freaky. I'm out.
All right. Speaking of, Deli, you've just seen this happen. You're still on top of
Yeah.
that bear. It's tried to buck you off.
Yeah, as somebody who worships Bahamut, this is definitely not okay.
See you later.
So, Deli, it is your turn.
Oh yeah. So I'm just like I'm very much feeling very again disconnected from the party, which I was just feeling a little bit better connected with the party. And I'd like to I'd like to take the sword out and kind of stab it again to see if I can just kind of finish this bear off.
In the bear?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Okay.
And actually take advantage for it, too,
Okay.
since the bear is grappled.
Okay. 19 and 7. So 19 plus 5, which is 24.
That will hit. And damage?
Yeah.
Over 9,000.
Probably enough.
That would be 5.
All right. So you're killing the bear. How are you ending the bear's life?
So I mean, as humanely as possible in the best way I can see it. So I'm assuming I stuck him in the gut for the first time and kind of took him down. Well, since I'm on top of him, I kind of posture up and pull the sword out real quick, and then just put it right through its neck, just to end it as fast as possible.
All right. It's quick. Yeah, the sword just kind of slides right through, and you don't even really sort of feel a movement from the bear. It's just kind of, it was fighting against you for a moment, trying to buck your weight off, and then it just sort of stops.
Okay. If I can get up slow, or kind of get up after that and close its eyes and stuff, just.
You can, yeah, and in fact, as you're getting off of it, it's sort of eased somewhat by its body sort of shrinking back down to a normal bear size. The wound's also shrinking down a little bit. It almost looks like you pierced with like a thin needle blade through the back now.
Okay.
I have a quick question regarding
Yes.
the accuracy roll for before. So it was a D20 I rolled. Charisma's not added to that roll, though, right?
It is.
Oh, it
Because
is. Okay.
You cast your magic with the force of charisma.
Okay, gotcha. And because I'm proficient in it, my charisma is 2, so it'd be 4 added to that.
Right.
Okay, so my charisma is added not just to the Eldritch Blast, but to the accuracy.
Yeah.
Well, it's the accuracy of the Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, that's what I do with my sword as well. I add strength to both.
Okay, good. Just wanted a clarity. Thanks.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, Sharvanda. So you've seen this like blast of light come out from, or dark light come out from Felix's face as well, and has hit Noak. You also do now have a clear shot. You see him sort of still pointing this wand at the bed and sort of looking desperately at you, trying to quickly, it seems, cast a spell.
So I just witnessed something really crazy, and being a rogue, I don't care. I just went, wow, this is getting even more cooler. It's like a fireworks display for me, so it's kind of like a sick display. So it's just like, oh, this is awesome. I just already in the back of my mind, I found a drinking buddy finally, right? So I quickly think to myself, there is no sneak attack. He's looking at me. I want to snap.
Actually, you spent your last round hiding, and he's distracted, so you would get your sneak attack here if you want to. He doesn't see you.
2 arrow shots to the back. Can I do that?
You do 1 arrow shot to the back, and then you get sneak attack with that.
I will do just that.
All right.
Yes. Okay. Let's roll.
So having snuck around then with your bow, you're just kind of readying that shot from the darkness.
The idea is to incapacitate him, or if I can, kill him, because at this point I realize that he has taken 2 shots. So hopefully I can get a really good hit in. I want to hit something major. I want him to be able to not speak. I want him to flop over.
All right.
17.
That will hit.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll your damage and add your sneak attack to it.
Which is sneak attack was.
Sneak
Oh,
attack is, I believe, 1d6 for you.
Another 1d6, right?
Yes.
So I'll roll it twice. Oh, so that's 6, 8.
On the first one,
Yep.
and then
And
plus the sneak.
do I add my my proficiencies to that as well?
Not to that one. No, that's just a straight 1d6.
3.
3. So that would be a total of what, 12?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I mean that's where did you say the shot was going?
Oh,
Where are you
It-
aiming on him?
do I have a shot of his head?
Sure.
Head.
All right. So he's sort of speaking the magical words through this wand as he's pointing it at the bed, and you actually see these sorts of sparks of blue light begin to come out of the wand and start to move over to the bed, and the bed begins to light up a little bit. And as he's chanting and he's chanting, he's chanting, suddenly you see this arrow just right through the back of his head and right out of his mouth. The arrow sort of replacing his tongue. And he just sort of falls forward, the wand tumbling and rolling across the ground. The light sort of fading away from the bed as well.
And I kind of look over to Felix and I'm like, we're going to get along just fine.
Y'all are dirty. I'm with the paladin. This is messed up.
So
Oh
I will
my-
give you guys
oh
a
no.
choice right now. Obviously, there's Shine Bright outside. There's the rest of this place, in addition to up in the bedroom, that you could explore in. We're at about 9:15 right now, so you can choose if you'd like to enjoy the fruits of your labor and search now, or if you'd like to save that for next session as the way we start off.
I vote let's keep going, but obviously,
We can
Yeah,
also
you-
take
you-
another 5-minute break if you would like.
East Coasters have priority here, I think.
yeah,
It's
I
true.
agree.
Yeah, it is late for some of you.
It is 12:16 a.m. for me. It's pushing it.
We can start with it next time. That's absolutely fine. It's up to you. It's only if you're really curious about what's inside and what's going to happen with Shine Bright, what the wand is all about.
I mean,
All right.
letting that sit will only increase the hype, right?
Perhaps.
Possibly.
I don't know if I can ask this, but are we close to leveling up? Feel
With
free not to answer.
with the completion of this battle, you will have just earned enough experience points to level up. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like taking the break to level up might be nice.
Okay. Your level increases probably won't affect anything in this circumstance.
Level 1 to 2 doesn't change too much, but I
No.
think there's some stat changes and stuff.
But sure, it's possible. All right. Well, we will hold off on the exploration of this treehouse until next time. Then, the players having now successfully infiltrated Shinebright/Noak's treehouse. I think it's safe to say it's now Shinebright's treehouse, or perhaps the party's treehouse. It depends how things end up after this. We still, of course, have the wolves, which never joined that battle, and
Or the so-called security. Where
yeah,
they?
they've
Yeah.
gone off. So who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? There was some thinking earlier that maybe they had their eyes on Shine Bright, though it does also seem like they were
Oh,
taken
no.
in by what you were saying.
Oh no!
Either outcome could be possible. Either way, next time we will find out what happened to Shine Bright the horse, and we will see what comes of this mysterious wizard treehouse as well. Guys, thank you so much for being here today. I hope you enjoyed it, and of course, a big thanks to our players, KZ Fru, Simcopter1, Animatedbreak, and Danotage. Guys, thank you so much for being here today. I will say goodbye if any of you have any words of goodbye as well.
We shall meet again soon.